show again, as always, and we appreciate all of you here on the program. That is the fastest growing show in Philadelphia and really around the country when it comes to covering the Birds and the National Football League. And it's all because of you. Guys, you power the program. You and me are the hamsters in the wheel here. And I can't thank you enough, man. Super chats go to the top. Please hit the like button. From the good people that put good takes in here to the creeps. All of you are wanted and all of you are needed. And we love you being in here with us each and every single day. You know what's crazy? The haters are here longer than the people that actually like the show. So that tells you a little bit about how the show is. The people that complain about Big Sills are here longer than you. What does that tell you? That this is a place that even the haters love to come to. Or they wouldn't be here. There's a billion options. But you guys have created an opportunity for all of you, okay? For all of you to come here and talk some Birds and also some football. So welcome aboard again. I mean, folks, that 105 game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down in the humidity in Tampa. Whoa. Hey, Nick, this just in. I said it yesterday. A buffoon comment about trying to get acclimated to the heat. What are you, a fucking idiot? Getting acclimated to the heat is the stupidest comment coming out of. And by the way, you know what you do? You accentuate the fact that you're concerned about the humidity. So you let the Bucs know immediately that you're concerned about the heat. Hey, you're the Philadelphia Eagles. You're supposed to be the world champions. You're supposed to let nothing affect you. So the heat is an issue now? So you're changing your routine to go down to Tampa because you're concerned about the fucking heat. Dude, you're the champs. Act like it. This should be another walk in the park for you, another day at the office. Instead, you accentuate, well, we're concerned about the humidity. Nice job, Nick. You dropped your pants again. As usual, the organization drops their pants. What do you think the Bucs are going to do now? The Bucs are going to go up tempo on you. We're going to get more into that here in a minute. It's a fucking stupid thing to do, man. You don't want to give another team an advantage. The Bucs already have the advantage when it comes to the humidity. I mean, dude, they're decimated in the O-line. They're decimated, but they're going to go up tempo. Hey, by the way, we're going to get to all this here. When you got a clown in charge, expect a shit show. Dude, I think that comes from up top, though. I do. I think that comes from Howie and the organization thinking that they know better, and they're always going to throw 19. That 19-1 record's not Nick Sirianni's record. That's Jalen Hurts' record. They don't fucking share it. Too many different coaches. The organization believes they're more in charge of that record than the players are. They believe that, and I believe they think that wholeheartedly. I mean, that's Jalen Hurts. Every time you put a shitty coordinator in front of him and he still wins, that's on Jalen. Jalen is responsible for 23, and Jalen is responsible for 24, and he'll be responsible for 25. You know why? Because you got a training wheels offensive coordinator. All right, we'll get more into it. They got a great roster and a great group of men, and they know how to win in spite of bullshit. Okay, so here. So Gardner Johnson, as expected and as we said, I don't know who fucking came up with the idea that you got into a position where you couldn't bring back Gardner Johnson if the player was cut, even though you traded him. I don't know where the fuck that came from, but it's idiotic. Of course, and by the way, today, the head coach gave you a lawyer's answer. Nick Sirianni was asked about the potential of bringing back CJ Gardner Johnson. He goes, right now we like our guys. That's a fucking lawyer's answer. That is a lawyer's answer. We like our guys right now. You do? Go read Blankenship's playing like shit. Makuba's a young player who I think's got some upside here. He's not better than CJ right now. Here's the new storyline. And here's the new tea leaf for all of you guys to land on now. He's a head case. There's a problem with him. He's unruly. What else is it? He's not a very good teammate. What else is it? Let's see. He's a cancer in the locker room. Funny. None of that played a factor on 2 Super Bowl appearances and a Super Bowl win. And leading the NFL in interceptions and finishing second. That falls on deaf ears with me. He wasn't a problem here when you guys went to 2 Super Bowls. Not coachable? Really? Well, he was coachable enough for you to get to 2 Super Bowls. Lead the NFL in interceptions. His second time. Oh, now he's not coachable, but when he took you and helped you get to 2 Super Bowls and was on the number 1 overall defense, now he's not coachable. Is that right? Okay. Is this true? I want someone to tell me. I told you this guy would never play 17 games. Let me know if that's true. He wasn't nothing but a winner in Philly. I agree with you, man. Big Marshall. Will somebody confirm or not confirm if Nolan Smith has been put on injured reserve? One of my bold predictions was that guy wouldn't play a full year. Is Nolan Smith now an IR who misses 4 games? Boom! Man, we're hitting on all cylinders so far this offseason and going into this year. I told you that dude would never make it. He would never make it. And this was the concern of Vic. Okay? This was the concern of Vic. Bennett and Nolan Smith both sent to IR. Automatic 4 games, they're out. So now you go into the Buck game without your second best pass rusher, or to some extent your first best pass rusher. Wow. Okay. So you go in to a guy you were talking about paying $25 million to. Is that correct? And now he misses 4 games. So let me hit this thing here. Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith going on injured reserve. This was a bold prediction that we made with Xander prior to this season. And we said that this guy is not a 17-game player, that he would not play 17 games. He's not built to play 17 ball games. And once again, he's injured. He has shown that he's a good player. He really has. He's a good football player. Unfortunately, his availability will be his downfall. We have nothing against the player. He actually fitting into Vic and his scheme and how Vic got the best out of him a year ago was absolutely great coaching and the player being coachable. I like the way the kid plays with energy. I like the way the kid leads. There is nothing that you don't like about Nolan Smith except this guy just can't stay healthy. Lost our only edge who was decent against the run. That's correct. You were crushed by the Rams on the edge last Sunday. They went for 160 on you. Are you under the impression with Tristan Wirfs that they're not going to run at the edges again? Why would I run into 700 pounds of defensive tackle between Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Why would I do that? I wouldn't. I'm going to attack your edges. And Smith being out is devastating. You're already not that good at that point. You're okay. They're going to sign CJ. I'm telling you, we'll get back to that here in a minute. But let me stay. Marshall, I'll get back to that. I promise you on CJ. Nolan Smith is not a future piece of this team. End of story. He's not a future piece. And here's why. You can't consistently be in and out of the lineup. And you can't be a future piece if you're always hurt. It's impossible. Now, could you diminish his role and put him in a situational pass rush role and have him come off the bench and be somebody that's a specialized player? If you wanted to find that role, there's probably a role on the team for him. Let me put it to you this way. Nolan Smith is probably a $25 million and up player. But because of his availability, that guy's an $8 million player. And he's a role player at best. Because you can't count on him, and you can't count on him to be able to build a football team around him. The Eagles need an edge rusher. He ain't it. That's not your future. Seals, do you think he's good? I do. Do you think Dallas Goedert is a good tight end? I do. Do you think he's here for the future in the next 3 years? I don't. Why? He misses 25% of his career every year. No, I don't. I need reliability, especially in a Vic Fangio defense. You got to set the edges. Listen here. This is nothing personal with Nolan Smith. I like the kid. I think the kid's got a lot of intangibles that you love. You like his presence. He's got a presence when he's in the room. His Georgia Bulldog guys speak highly of him. They love the guy. That means nothing when you're not on the football field. Okay, that means nothing. Dean back, Campbell to edge, sign CJ. Dude, Campbell, let him play off ball first before we start moving him around. Sills, was it because he was injured or how he was not happy with what he saw on Sunday? No way. No way. They're not putting him on IR because of not what they saw. Rappaport tweets that he tweaked his triceps again. Same one that got operated on. Okay? It's good. At least it's not a shoulder and a ACL or an MCL. So he could be back. But again, for them to put him on IR, that's mandatory 4 weeks. Now, you know what they did? They probably put him on the 4 weeks. Why? You got the New York Giants twice coming up, right? And I think the bye somewhere wedged in there. So it's probably what they're looking at here with how they put him on IR, because you really don't. I don't think if you need him against the New York Giants, the Eagles are going to have a tough road to hoe here. But one more thing here again for Nolan Smith. Dude, everything you like about a football player is in that guy's DNA. Everything about Nolan Smith. Attitude, his preparation, how his teammates see him, everything. Except he's not built for the league. He is too small. Okay? You know what? I don't know if some of you know the name. It's Bob Sanders playing edge. All right? It's Bob Sanders playing edge. You see this fucking cocksucker here? I would wish an injury on another brother that played in the National Football League. Dude, you sit in here all day long and you just bark your fucking nonsense. People, this guy right here. And you know what he'll do? He'll go home and he'll play with himself because he got my attention for 3 minutes. One thing you always have to know this about me. I would never wish for another person in my entire life that played in the National Football League, that's a brother of mine, to ever be injured. People like that, there's a reason that they made the guillotine for. And he's one of them. Okay? He's a fucking weirdo. Exactly, JD. This guy's a fucking weirdo. He's like a chick stalking a dude. He's a weirdo. All that said, Nolan Smith, it's a really disappointing thing. It's disappointing. Okay? Disappointing, to say the least. Now, what are you going into the game against the Bucs with? Zadarius Smith, Jalix Hunt, and who? So let's go to the depth chart here with the Birds. Holy cow. So you're telling me, remember the comment that I told you guys? You guys told me that you were going to be able to replace Josh Sweat, and it would be like that. Remember all that offseason? You guys were telling me that you were going to replace him. Pump the brakes. Here's another. You haven't replaced Slay, and you haven't replaced Josh Sweat, correct? And you haven't replaced Gardner Johnson. Those three positions have not been replaced. And, I heard Xander say this to John. I'm not really. This is what Xander said. We're going to get Xander at 3:30, by the way. Guys, please do me a favor. Hit the like button. Xander said this. That's not a position that I'm sitting around going like this. Well, safety's a problem. Well, I'll disagree with that. You know how? How do you think Reed Blankenship's playing? And how do you think that Andrew Makuba and Sidney Brown are playing? And do you think their plays affecting Reed Blankenship's, who's probably playing the worst of anybody on that defense right now in the first 3 weeks? You think it's had any impact on his play? Safety's fine. Reed Blankenship's playing like shit. He's the worst defender on your team right now. You think that has anything to do with it? Hoss, so you think we're good at safety? Reed is a liability. He is not playing well. Hey, by the way, if he was so good, where's his contract, RC3, that you told me was coming 6 different times? RC3, where's that contract? I'll make a point to you guys. Because of the way that Jordan Davis is now playing, not a chance in hell they give Reed Blankenship a contract. Now, maybe because of Nolan Smith, maybe Reed does get some type of contract on that side of the ball. But the loss of Nolan Smith is enormous heading into this Bucs game down in Tampa, and they're going to up-tempo you, which means you're going to need pass rushers. So here's your edge rushing room. Zadarius Smith and Jalix Hunt are now your starters at edge. Advantage, Bucs. That's not intimidating or imposing. That's a downgrade from a year ago. That's a downgrade. Downgrade. You're heading into the most important game in the early part of the season, and you lose a key component there. I do think Reed might be too concerned with making sure everyone is lined up and communicating. Having Slay and CJ, he didn't have to babysit last year. Hey, JD3, isn't that funny? All I heard this morning and people telling me this morning was that CJ Gardner Johnson, there's problems with him. He's a cancer. He's no good. Didn't seem to be a problem in Philly. It didn't seem to be a problem when he was playing for you. He helped you get to 2 Super Bowls. He was on the number 1 ranked defense in the league a year ago. He was on a Super Bowl championship team. I don't know. What happened? You don't like him? He's an asshole? He wants more money? You can't coach around that? Okay. I thought Nick's culture was so good that you could overcome shit like that. Hall of Fame nominees came out today. Speaking of coming out, are you cracking open a couple of Bud Lights for your boy Jeff Garcia? Who the fuck is Jeff Garcia? We haven't really replaced Milton. The run game is suffering. Marshall, you're really a great guy in here. You really are. And I think what you've done and how you go back and forth with me, you're a perfect sports talk guy, in my opinion, in here. You disagree vehemently with me, and then all of a sudden, when there's topics that you and I have a common ground on, we sit there and we go back and forth on it. So, Big Marshall, do you remember me in the offseason going, do you really believe that you're going to replace the 5 players that were on that Super Bowl team? And everyone in here said yes. You think Mario Jomo is outplaying Milton Williams? And what Milton Williams, he's playing Pro Bowl football right now. Bro, Milton Williams, a year ago, was on the number 1 ranked defense. I don't think Mario Jomo's outplayed him or even equaled him. Not in any way. Your edge rushers have come nowhere near Josh Sweat. Nowhere near. Not with pressure, not with playing the run. You can't set the edge. Do you think that really Makuba and Sidney Brown have outplayed Gardner Johnson of a year ago? No. I won't even go to Adoree. The only guy that's close is Campbell. It's Campbell. He's the only guy close, in my opinion. He's the only guy. Vic is just working it. He's such a good coach. Such a good coach. We're going to go by the numbers here. But one more time. Nolan Smith, dude, that guy's not part of the future of this football team. He's always hurt. He tweaked his tricep. Again, it's something every year. You drafted the player injured. And listen, when I made that prediction that guy will not play 17 games, and you make those kind of comments, you were clearly not hoping that. If anything, you're praying the guy plays 17 ball games, and you're wrong. He gets his extension. He becomes a viable part of your franchise. That's the kind of topic I want to be wrong on. Dude, I don't root against anybody. But when I see constant injuries and I see people always missing time for something, whether it's Dallas Goedert or it's Nolan Smith, it has no bearing on how I feel about the guy. Small sample size, however, Reed looks better with Makuba on the field with him. Okay. A little bit. A little bit. Well, that's because Makuba is better in space. Sidney Brown can't tackle. He can't tackle. I mean, yeah, Q. Brown is not good in space. And now you have more open windows. Sills, when I see Nolan's skills, I see him as off-ball linebacker. It will limit his opportunities to lock up on OTs. Dude, that might be a possibility with him because him lining up on offensive tackles, and let me see here. I want to double check to make sure he is on the Will side. He is. Bob, there's a reason he's on the Will side. Usually that's the side that tight ends aren't lined up and you don't have double teams. And they're trying to keep him away from the double teams. You put him on the Will, that's the open side, and you're using his speed. And he's using his ability to be able to get out in space. Dude, the guy's got talent. Okay? The guy's got talent. Seals, you going to do a game stream ever? Man, I do 7 hours a day of broadcasting. Sitting around doing a 4-hour football game, I don't know, man. That's probably not happening right now, but maybe one day, Rich. Like maybe in the bye week when I don't have to do like the morning show, maybe I would do something like that. Maybe. Listen, I'm never going to say no or never to something. So keep lining them up on the opposite side like they do with Parsons. Yeah, they do that. They put him on the will. Nolan is going down the Chris Godwin route. Always hurt, and you wonder what could have been. Man, you're hoping that's not the case. Okay? You're hoping that that's not the case with him. Because one thing that Vic did show, Vic brought his talent out. A year ago, I'll bring this point up to you, man. Okay? He brought the talent out. Hey, Sills, do you think the Eagles open up the offense this week? Eric, I don't. You know why, Eric? They're going to come back, Eric, and do this. 19-1. Sileo, sit the fuck down. You know what I mean? They believe in their process. You can't dispute it. They've been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Right? So they'll look at the players and go, we know what's best. We've been to 3 Super Bowls in 8 years. We've won 1 or 2 in 8 years, and we've been to 2 in 3 years. So I think they're going to go back to the same formula. Unfortunately, they're going to go back to the same formula. And in this Tampa game, we're going to get into it again. Okay? Good point. That's why it should be. No, it's correct. You see, Eric, to your point, dude, everybody in Philadelphia goes, well, now we can throw the ball and now we're gonna. That's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Loden need a big and physical defensive end opposite of him, like DeMarcus Lawrence and Parsons had there in Dallas, and Rashawn Gary up in Green Bay. It's a great take, Trevor. That's a great take. Abe, he's enjoying life. He's not coming back. Listen, I despise that take that the Eagles, and the answer, they didn't answer no. Nick didn't say no. Nick didn't say no. He could have put it to bed right there. We've moved on from Gardner Johnson. Nothing to him. He's a player that's been cut. He's not under contract. Nick could have just went like this. Hey, nah, we like our guys. We don't have any interest in going backwards. We're moving forward here. Instead of answering it like this, at this time, we like our room. You see that little at this time? That's a lawyer's answer because it gives you latitude to get out from under that comment you made in case the room changes. I mean, it's a lawyer's answer. Players look for those lawyers' answers. Okay? I mean, if we get smoked by the Bucs, the tune will change. Hey, KCA Eagle, if they get beat in the secondary and they get beat this weekend and you can't set the edge and they're throwing passes into that secondary, bet your ass. Now, the Bucs are limited now. Evans is gone 2-3. And I'm going to get into some of the parameters of why I think the Bucs are going to have they're going to have an A-plus game to beat you guys. And I don't think you have to have an A-plus game. Sills, with Nolan at the will, he does avoid the double teams, but puts him right there on the offensive tackles. If he's on the will, he needs to be wide. Put him in a wide 9. Okay? This is untrue. The restriction is that the player must be first spent. This is untrue. That's untrue. Anybody who posted that, Adam Schefter went on 97.5 The Fanatic and said that he's eligible to play with any team, as we reported yesterday. That's not true. Whoever said that is not true. Okay? It's not true. Schefter said it today. It's not true. They can sign him. Okay? You're wrong. Take an L like a man. So, last thing here with Nolan Smith. Jalen Hunt has not looked like all of you thought he was going to look like, and me too. He is not ready yet. He's not ready. He's a good-looking prospect. Okay? He is. But not yet. Not yet. Sills, did you hear that Roseman is not done looking for a cornerback? Where are you going to find that now? Trade? Sills, our GM owner are so worried about the turnovers, and now that Barkley's success, unless forced into, they will stick to their guns and limit Hurts' exposure. That's right. And they're going to turn around and tell you 19-1. He's only playing edge for 3 years now, and he can't stay healthy in any one of those years. 3 years, and he's hurt. You drafted him hurt. Jalix benefited from Milton. Funny, when I said that in the offseason, you guys were trying to tell me that the defensive edge rushers were benefiting from Jalen Carter. Well, what happened now? Jalen Carter's out of shape. He missed a game, and your edge rushers are getting blown up. I thought he'd have an impact on Jalen Hunt and Nolan Smith. Like I knew they wouldn't. Hey, maybe it was the other way around. That Jalen Carter benefited also from having Milton Williams and Josh Sweat in that D-line. I know many of you don't want to put that there, but you're playing musical chairs now in your front four. Are you not? Everyone wanted to give Jalen Carter all the love, and he is a great player. But he's not played well. Why? Well, look at the guys that he's not playing with. He doesn't have Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. You don't have the corners with Slay, and you don't have the safety with CJ. Did you ever think why you're 18th in total defense? Let me get that number right. Let me double check that. Let's take a look at this here. Where you are in total defense. Eagles are 18th in total defense. Where'd I say you'd be? Between 10 and 15? You're 18th right now. After 12 quarters of play. Ton of football to go. Ton of football. What are you against the run here? By the way, your pass defense is not terrible. They're 11th. That's not terrible. But here's the problem with your football team. On defense, you're 24th against the run. So let me get this right. You're 18th in total defense, and you're 24th against the run. And you're telling me that Jordan Davis is fucking playing well? That whole group is playing well? Who? Who would you say is playing well? Because he has a higher volume of reps? Dude, they're running the football down your throat. What are you talking about? Carter has not played well. He's not played well. The other side of that goes down this lane. Look, I just told you, you're not running it well. And here's the other issue that you have heading into this Bucs game. Here's something to think about too, and I want to double check here on your run offense here. Pass offense, I mean, you're 29th like you were a year ago. And your run offense is 14th. A year ago, you were number 1. Now you're 14th. You're in the middle of the league. What's the actual numbers on Barkley? He's 12th in rushing. He's averaging 3.3 yards a carry, and he's at 64 yards a game. And your passing attack is 29th. And your run defense is 18th heading into this game. Here's where I'm at with this game. And again, Nolan Smith, it's devastating not to be able to have a rotation heading into this football game. So let me give you just an overall synopsis, because this is what I'm hearing. The Bucs have an excuse. They've lost Tristan Wirfs, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Kalijah Kancey, Cody Mock, Luke Gedeke. They've lost all these guys, and they're 3-0. How are your offensive numbers the way they are, and you've lost nobody? What's your excuse? What's your excuse for not playing well? I mean, that's not living up to the talent that you have in your huddle. I mean, I think you go into this football game also. You beat the Cowboys? Okay. You beat the Chiefs? Good win. Any team that has Mahomes on it is a good win. The Rams kicked your ass. It's stupid coaching and nutting up in the end. That's what Sean McVay did. Sean McNay's nuts turned into raisins. And he definitely, they stole the game. Not stole. They took it from him. They didn't steal it. They took it from him. And it's poor coaching. I blame coaching for that loss for the Rams. And the Eagles, you got to play 60 minutes against them. That's the best thing I could ever tell you about a football team is this. If you're going to beat the Eagles, you better fight for 60 minutes. I agree. McVay choked. Listen, if you're going to fight the Eagles, man, you got to go 12 rounds. They're going to be no knockouts. They're going to fight you for 12 rounds. You better be ready, man. Because it doesn't matter. They're looking for the round. They're like George Foreman. They're not looking to win rounds. They're looking to win the fight. They have George Foreman written all over them. They're not looking to win like the first quarter. Okay? They're not looking for any of that. They're looking to win the game. Like George told you here when he used to come on, God rest his soul. He said it. I'm not looking to win rounds. I'm looking to win the fight. Okay? I mean, by the way, I haven't heard anything on Lane. Here's what I see right now. You know, look at this. I haven't even got to my topics yet. Here's what I see. So the Bucs are going to run up tempo on you. You know why? Nick Sirianni's making heat an issue. So I'm going to go up tempo on you. And we're going to find out what kind of shape Jalen Carter's in. My God almighty, Jalen Carter doesn't play well in this game. You're in for a long day. You have the advantage inside. They're banged up all inside. If I were them, I would move Graham Barton back from tackle to center to try to compensate a little bit for Carter and Davis being in there. Because if you don't, they've got the advantage in there. Now, the problem is this. It's not so much your defensive tackle play that's been a problem against the run. Your edge rushers are getting washed down into those guys, and they're not able to pursue. Teams are getting success off tackle on you. Like, they're running at your edge rushers. And now that you've lost Smith, that's going to be a formula for them. Hey, Bucky Irvin and Rachaad White, they're good backs. They're very good running backs. Bucky Irvin is probably a cheap man's version of Bijan Robinson. He can catch passes, and he can run the football. You don't have the advantage in D-line against this team. Now that you're down, your edge rushers aren't playing well. Now you're down Smith. They get worse back. I think you're better inside. They're better outside. So there's kind of a push in the middle there. Hey, let's be candid. Since the Nick Sirianni era, there's only one team, or there's a few teams that he's got losing records to that they play every year. The Bucs are one of them. They have success against them and him. Okay, so, hey, Mr. International, did you trust him last year? So here, on the other side, Hurts going against the Bucs defense. I don't think they can get a pass rush. Their pass rush has not been very good except for one game. I saw a little bit in the Houston game, but outside of Atlanta, Hassan Reddick, man, this guy's got to get going here because they're really not getting home. But the Eagles don't throw the ball. What are the Bucs defensively? Here's something at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is 7th running the ball. These now are becoming trends. One more week, it'll be a bigger trend. The Bucs are 7th running the ball. You're 24th at defending it. You really think you have the advantage? Now, let me underscore this. You get the benefit of the doubt. The Eagles get the benefit of the doubt. You know why? Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams are way better than Atlanta, Texans, Jets. I don't know if I believe the Bucs. You beat those 3 teams with last-minute drives? I don't know. I mean, you played 2 football teams. One was in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs, and the Rams are a good football team. I don't know who the Bucs have played. Now, Sills, do you think those 3 teams could have beaten the Eagles? I do. But, once again, they could be 0-3, but not that team because they play 60 minutes. You don't get the benefit of ifs versus the Eagles. The Bucs, you played the Jets. You played the Texans. You played the Falcons. All those teams have 1 win combined. Do I buy that? I don't think so. So I'm going to find out more about Tampa Bay this weekend than I am about Philly. I know who fucking Philly is. They're struggling running the ball, and as usual, they're struggling throwing the ball consistently. You know what? I heard this on the first couple days of the week here. Look at what we can do. No, you can't. You can't do that consistently because you haven't done that consistently in 3 years. Look at what we can do if we open it up. That's not true. You don't play from the first snap to the end of the game like that. You never have. You have spot games. Pittsburgh, the Super Bowl, Baltimore. You got spot games where you do that. That's not consistent. I don't know what you're talking about. You're never going to be that team because you have a quarterback that thinks a way around the room to win games. Okay? I'm not sure the Bucs are who. The Eagles 3-0. Are you buying them being 3-0? Yeah, I know. I've seen it. They're 19-1. And they got the same personnel on offense back. What about the Bucs 3-0? I don't know. Bucs get pissed off at me for saying that. But I have to be honest about it, right? Sills, what do you make of the Bucs? They're 3-0 gutty, and I'm going, yeah, well, I don't know. Right? I don't know. They don't get the benefit. They're not Super Bowl champions. Like, here's the Bucs on defense. They're 11th total defense. You're 24th. Passing. The Bucs are 19th. Jalen Hurts should throw the ball in this game. The Bucs are 6th versus the run. Hey, expect another flooded lane with blitzes coming up the middle and Barkley having a tough time getting it going again. They're going to flood the lanes. You know why they're going to flood the lanes? They know Hurts struggles at reading blitzes. And flooding the lanes on first and second down prohibits Barkley from getting into the second level. Do you understand what teams are doing? If you go back and watch particular sections of each game, I'll tell you what teams are doing right now. Barkley at the second level is fucking unbelievable. Barkley's not getting to the second level where he's excellent in space. As a matter of fact, I would make this point to you. Barkley in space is better than Henry in space. Henry's a bulldozer. Barkley's better in traffic. He's better in traffic once he gets to the second level. He's not been able to get to the second level. Okay? He's just not. He's not able. You see this right here? The new flavor of the week is the Lions. Yeah, well, let me see them a little more. I'm not sold on any of those teams. Except the Eagles. Why? Well, because they've done it. Dude, if everything is equal this year in the NFC, the Birds get the fucking advantage. We need to start running off tackle. None of the shotgun shit takes too much time to develop. Yeah, because teams are flooding the lanes and getting into the backfield, and Hurts is having issues again when it comes to taking on the blitzes. Those are teams. Oh, those are teams you like in the NFC? Yeah, I would agree. You're sold on the Lions? I'm not sold on anybody except Philly. Why? Because they've done it. Don't buy Chicago yet. Chicago's got about half a year before I'm looking at them going, yeah, all right. I haven't even got to my topics yet. Nolan Smith out? Holy shit. Dude, they are going to Todd is going to, by the way, Lovie Smith is a consultant down there for the Buccaneers. And this is the guy I've been talking to, is Lovie Smith. And Lovie thinks what they're going to do is they're going to run those stretch plays and up-tempo on Philly on offense. And they're going to see what kind of shape they're in those defensive tackle positions. They're going to attack the edge. Their secondary, they're 22nd. I think they're okay, not great. Dean had a pick six, Jamel Dean. They got another turnover. Winfield's playing better. He hasn't played as good as he did 3 years ago. But again, you don't take advantage in the passing game for 4 quarters. You're going to have to throw the ball in this game. And I don't believe your O-line's playing well. Lovie Smith is a guy who didn't teach Sidney Brown how to tackle. No. He was protected by the kid they had back there in the secondary. That kid, Witherspoon. Witherspoon was the first-round draft choice. Witherspoon was the guy teaching him how to tackle. Real zeal. Tackling is something that you're either good at it or you're not. It's a mindset. You're either a great tackler or you're not. It's a mindset and a skill set. It's something that there's some people that are great at it, and there's just some people that aren't. Deion Sanders was not a good tackler. He was an exceptional cover guy. I mean, Deion couldn't crack an egg. Was not a hitter. But his closing speed and the way he tracked footballs and the way he was able to stay on lanes when it came to covering pass routes was second to none. We're 3-0 with 3 razor-thin wins. 19-1, 17-0, whatever it's meaningless in 2025. I don't know if it's meaningless. Okay? Sills, it's a fundamental you get in youth. You know what? You're probably right. I consider myself a great tackler. I had a lot of tackles in all my levels of play. I was always around the ball, and I was a really good tackler. I did the hip drop tackle a lot, and I was always good at every level, from little football all the way to the professional leagues. I was always good at it. And I think there's an ability you have that's a natural instinct, too, when it comes to being a really good tackler. Like, you could see it in Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean is really a great tackler. Okay? You shouldn't learn how to tackle at the pro level. No, it's too late. Honestly, Sills, who you got this week? I'll do that on Friday, but I'll give you a little insight. I'm leaning Eagles. I got a ton of, and here's why. I'm leaning Eagles. There's just too many injuries. Here's the problem you have with Mike Evans. Now, follow me here. What do you think the significant injury is and why Mike Evans being out is important? Vita Vea is a fucking ox, Sills. Long day for O-line. Long day for Cam. Don't be shocked if Cam gets his ass kicked. Okay? Why is the injury to Mike Evans significant in this game against the Birds? Why do you think it's significant? Evans out means the safety can look elsewhere. Because we don't got CB2. Q can line up on Godwin. Depending on how many reps he gets. Harder to exploit, CB2. Okay, here's why. You got Evans here, and you've got Emeka Buka over here. And now you're going to add Chris Godwin, right? Okay. You take Evans out of that. What does Evans attract? He attracts the double. Now you're in zone, so you're not really going to see that. But he gets all the double teams and all the major because he's a professional. Evans knows how to handle double teams. He knows how to get open in double teams. Emeka Buka's still learning that. So where are all the double teams going to go? To Emeka Buka. That means Sterling Shepard's got to step up. That means the other guys on that roster have to step up. And I think that's an advantage for you. Not having Mike Evans out there. It's a big, giant loss in their passing game. And here's a secret that I'll tell you. And I said this to Lovie Smith, and I said it to Bruce Arians yesterday night. Take a look at their tight end numbers. They're limited. Why? He doesn't have the time to throw the football. That Otten kid is not going to be a factor in this game unless Philly can't get to him. If Philly can't get to Baker Mayfield, here's something else. He's been making a lot of plays with his legs. Instead of throwing the ball into tight windows, he's taking off. You're going to have to box him in and keep the edges. You don't have good edge play right now. I think the difference for the Bucs will be Baker Mayfield's mobility. If you can't keep him contained, let's take a look at it. Look at what Mahomes did to you guys on getting out and being able to start running. He kept that game close. Why? With his wheels. Stafford can't run. He couldn't extend plays. He couldn't even outrun Jordan Davis. Right? He couldn't outrun Jordan Davis. So you're going to have to you're going to have to get to him. He is. He's sneaky good. He's sneaky good, man. Here's something else. 5 TDs, and I'm talking passes, and no turnovers. He's protected the football, which he and I have gotten into it back and forth. And I told him, I said, hey, look, you have 41 touchdowns. Hurts had 18 touchdowns and like 5 or 6 picks. I'd rather have that number than 41 touchdown passes and 16 interceptions lead the NFL in turnovers. Turnovers will kill you every time. Last year, we could not contain Baker. That's why we lost the game. Yeah, and because you had too many 3 and outs on the offensive side, because Lane and the 2 receivers, Devontae and AJ, were not available. And that softened up the defense because the defense couldn't stay on the field because of the humidity. I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of parts in this game that favor Tampa to keep the game close. But I'll say it one more time. Atlanta, Houston, the Jets. Am I buying that? Anybody in their right mind would go, Jesus, that's 12 quarters against some pretty shitty football teams. And I'd be like, I can't deny it. Well, what about the Eagles' 12 quarters? Well, Dak's playing great ball. He's playing top 10 quarterback right now. Kansas City's got Mahomes, best player in the generation at quarterback. They're a playoff team. They were a Super Bowl. And you got Stafford, who's playing top 10 quarterback too. And the Rams are good. I'm leaning on the Eagles having played a better competition heading into this game on Sunday. Aren't you? I trust the 3-0 record more of Philly than I trust the 3-0 record of the Bucs right now. Seals, it feels to me like this team hasn't been the most physical team on the field in each game. Not normal for the Eagles. With the injuries rolling in, I don't know when or if we get it back. Dude, the problem you're not setting an identity with is your O-line. Your O-line and your D-line are not playing well. Like I said, 12 quarters, one more for 16 quarters usually tells you a little bit here, right? Okay. Do you think this is common for a Philadelphia Eagle football team? The Eagles are 24th against the run. 24th, right? And you are running the ball running the football, you are 14th. That's not Eagle football. How can you set the tone when you can't run it and you're getting run on. See what I'm saying? See, this right here, again, Sills, my guy, you think worst first game back, we can handle tempo, and heat. Well, he practices in it. He lives in it. I think his game shape conditioning will be an issue, but him playing in the heat, he lives in it. They practice in it. They don't practice indoors. No, the Bucs will probably practice indoors because the majority of their games and the majority of the things they do outside at One Buck, I've been over at One Buck a billion times. They barely go into that indoor facility. They do exactly what Belichick. They play in the heat. They're going to practice in the heat. Very rarely do they go indoors unless there's lightning. They don't go inside. And I've been in both the inside facility and the outside facility. 99% of the time, Todd Bowles is going to have his football team outdoors unless there's a lightning storm. Hey, Sills, you saw my other super chat? Xander, if I missed one, Emmett, we'll get to it, I promise. Okay, I appreciate everybody throwing the supers at us. Thank you very much. Please hit the like button. Tragic news today with Nolan Smith missing 4. Hey, I think the tricep injury, you're probably going to be able to come back from, and he's young. It's the 4 games I'm pissed off at. I mean, 4 games, dude, coming up him now. I get it's in the weaker part of the schedule, but boy, I would have liked to have had him for this Bucs game here. Okay? The Cowboys secondary was so bad against the Bears, Luther Vandross Burden got his first TD as a rookie. Nice. Hey, very good. Yeah, the Bears took that secondary apart of the Cowboys. Seals, when you played at the U, did the players utilize IVs at the half to fight hydration and cramping? I think that med team will need to help the big guys fight through the Tampa heat. Yes, a lot of IVs. Sometimes we got them at halftime. Most of the time we got them after the game. You wanted to usually get them after the game because it makes you a little sluggish when you're getting IVs. But, dude, I mean, a guy like Jordan Davis in this game could lose 30 pounds. 25 pounds, normal. A guy that's 340 pounds, he might lose 20 pounds in this game, 25 pounds. That's common. A guy like Jordan Mailata, 15, 18 pounds, not a problem. But when I was 290 pounds, and I'd play in these Florida games like FSU, Miami, or when I was with the Bucs, or playing in the World League in Orlando, it would not be uncommon for me to lose 21 pounds. Did you ever use pickle juice to hydrate? No, we didn't. Sports science wasn't a big thing in the 80s. It really wasn't. Sports science wasn't as big as it is today, where, you're using all kinds of different like electrolytes and such like that. That came more towards the end of my career once we got into the 90s. And when I was in my 30s, that you started seeing sports science be more, of a thing. So Tampa has EB40 and Luke Campbell as rappers. How you doing? Tampa brought that behemoth to stop the tush push. Desmond Watson has no chance of playing in this football game on Sunday. This is a project player that that the team likes. He was 446 pounds when he played at Florida. They never put him on the field or in an exhibition game because they thought he was a health hazard. They got all the way through training camp, right? Then they released him. He's lost a shitload of weight. And I think now he's down to 390. And they're very pleased. Played at Florida. So they brought him back and signed him to the practice squad. They want him to get down to 380 pounds because they think he could be a good football player. So, and I thought he was a good football player. He's just a gigantic dude in Florida. Still's taking shots on the bench. No. Maybe some energy boost in the locker room at halftime. Maybe some of that. It's the humidity that's going to be dangerous. Yes, it's not the heat. It's the humidity. That's what makes you lose your electrolytes and your and the water you have inside you. Holy cow. Let me say this to you, man. The NFL today really takes care of the guys on the sidelines. They got the fans. They got the stuff that they sit on. Those benches are frozen. When those guys go over and sit down, they are frozen. And when they're in the wintertime, they are blazing hot. So when you're playing at like 20 degrees below zero and you go sit down and you put your helmet on that thing, it heats the helmet up, and those seats are warm as hell. In the summertime, those bad puppies, man, they're frozen. They're like ice cubes. So when you sit on them, man, it's very comforting. Seals, can you tell me the impact that the Nick Bosa injury has on the 49ers? How big a loss? Enormous, because it's an edge setter. Teams are going to try to run off tackle now on the 49ers. And you take away one of the premier pass rushers in the NFL. It's a major loss. Sills, Jalen Phillips is more of a trade option than Trayvon Walker. Miami isn't going anywhere this year. Maybe that sounds right. I agree. Dan Sileo, can you tell me yes. Kim, sports nutrition so important. That's why my husband does a registered and has a registered dietitian. It is. These guys are professionals today that put many of these players on these diets and on these health regimes. And that's why they play longer today. Saw some ice packs in jerseys, bada bang. How you doing? So here, we get to my topics. We haven't even got to the topics yet here. By the way, Xander's going to join us at 3:30. Gary, what will the Eagles need to do to win versus the Bucs? Got to get the run game going. And you've got to be stouter at the edges. Play better at edge. I don't think your run defense is getting killed by the two tackles inside. And to Xander's point yesterday, I don't think Jordan's the cause of the run defense. But here, let me show you something. So you engage with your guy and your Jordan Davis, right? Your edge rusher's getting blown off the ball and there's a lane there. Whose responsibility is that? That's not Jordan Davis' responsibility. That's the edge rusher making sure he's got to keep his inside shoulder free. And he's got to make sure that bounces back inside to Carter and Davis. If that guy's not keeping his outside shoulder free and these tackles are able to hook him and get outside, how's that Jordan Davis's problem? It's the edge rusher's problem. It's not on him. Or if the tackle blows him off the ball, he's playing in a one technique. He hits here, the guy's here, and the edge rusher or defensive end is getting spread out and there's a lane. That's not Davis. That's not his job. I'm worried about Jordan Davis playing his own job in his own sandbox. I can't have him playing somebody else's sandbox in his own yet. What the fuck are you doing? Your edges are the ones giving up the game on the ground. If you go back and watch every single game that they've played, okay? Every game that they've played, they're getting beat on the edges and they're getting beat on their outside shoulder. So as you see positives with this team, absolutely. the guts you fucking have, how you grind these wins out, how teams have to play 60 minutes of football, it's a championship mentality. Even with some of the limitations and liabilities you have on this unit, you're a championship mentality. That's not wavered. Bro, you got to kill that team. Not beat them, because you're not going to beat them. You got to kill them. Like when there's like an animal or something that's there on the side and you know there's no hope, you got to kill it. Because that bird will get up and attack you and kill you. That, to me, is the ultimate compliment you can make on a football team. Yeah, we got some problems going on. We're 3-0. We fought our way, and guess what? You're going to have to take it from us. The Eagles took that game from the Rams. It wasn't, well, the Rams had it stolen. Nobody steals games against Philly. You mean they're going to steal it? They're going to take it from you. They're going to take it. I think the kid Campbell's playing okay. I think Makuba's okay. I mean, okay. I mean, there's not special going on there. I think, here, I'll go down the list here on defense. I think Morrow Jones was okay. Davis has been playing well. Carter has not played well. Nolan Smith now is out. I mean, dude, I will tell you something right here, and I want you to know this. That's the worst prediction that I wanted to come true. It really is. That sucks. I wish I was wrong in this one. Because I said the guy wouldn't play 17 games. He's not a 17-game player. Unfortunately, that sucks. I think Zach Bond's been good. Zach Bond 24? No. Campbell's been better as a rookie than I thought. Jalix Hunt has not been. I saw Tampa elevated that big DT to stop the tush push. He's an offensive lineman. That's not what he's not playing. Desmond Watson is not going to play. Adoree Jackson, I don't really think anything of him. Reed Blankenship has been terrible. Makuba's been good. Q's good. Cooper's good. Really, the best player that's played so far in 12 quarters has been Jordan Davis. Followed by Q, Bond, Cooper, Campbell, Makuba, Ajomo. They've not been exceptional over there. I said they're 18th in total defense. I mean, where are you going here? It's early. Jalen Hurts. So Jalen has figured it out. Tell you this, smartest quarterback in pro football. First 3 games, most impressive thing about people are looking for positive. And I get a guy that goes over to my X account and says you're glazing Hurts. If you listen to my program and you think I fucking glaze Jalen Hurts, there's something wrong with you. But he is the smartest quarterback in pro football. He figures it out, man. This guy uses his mind to win games. And his will. His mind and his will. In my opinion. Barkley has not been very good. He's been New York Giants Barkley. I mean, some people constitute it being play calling. I don't. Teams are flooding it. If you can't see that teams are blitzing on first and second down, and they're doing that I heard John say their number one objective was to stop Hurts and not Barkley, I completely 1,000% disagree with that. Well, then why are you flooding the lanes on first and second down? What are you worried about? Hurts struggles with blitzes anyway. You're worried about Barkley getting to the second level. Barkley won the fucking Super Bowl or got you to the Super Bowl. Hurts won the Super Bowl. Is this fair? Guys, Barkley got you to the Super Bowl. Hurts won it for you. That's the Eagles' mentality. I disagree with that. They're flooding the lanes on first and second down because they don't want that back to get into the second level and have mismatches against the safeties. Barkley versus a safety, I'll take that all night. All night. Barkley versus safety. Really? Who's winning that? Saquon Barkley's winning that. I never would have thought I'd see the day where there would be a cerebral dual threat quarterback and he's here in Philly. Yes. He's a wildcat quarterback that can throw. That's what he is. He's a wildcat QB. He's like Cordell Stewart, but better with the arm. He's actually more like, in a way, a shorter version of Randall. Hurts figures it out playing one time consistently. Oh boy, there will be no debate whether he's elite or not. Twiz, let me ask you something. I never asked this question, and I'll ask Andrew this. You think the Philadelphia Eagle management team stopped Hurts from being considered elite? Do you think they stop him from being elite? I saw elite play in the second half. I know everybody did. We all watched it. That was a good team you rolled back on. That wasn't the fucking Jets, who you gave up a lead. You gave up a special teams goof where they blocked the field goal, scooped and scored, and you had to fight back to win with a field goal against the Jets. Eagles don't make those gaffes. How many people in here, when they talk about elite quarterbacks, how many people think the organization, look at last year and this year, they didn't develop him in the passing game. They didn't do anything of the sorts. And then they turn around and go, well, it's a shitty passing game because it's 29th. Now they're 29th again. It's struggling. Well, maybe it's them doing this because you know why? They come back at you and they fight with you and they do this. 19-1. Can Vic improve the D enough to win another Super Bowl? So, what has to be done? I think Campbell has to get more reps, and you've got to fix. John McMullen harped on the edges. I, to an extent, told you were never going to replace Sweat and Milton Williams. So far, you haven't. And you're getting beat on the edges. You are getting beat in the run game on your edges. They have not been replaced. So, that's a personnel thing. That's not, like, I think the Eagle run game's going to get better. I do. I think the Eagle run game is going to get a little bit better. Okay? But the only reason that the run game's going to get better is because why? Because of health. Okay? Is because of health. That's the only reason. Let me do this here. I want to make sure because we have Battle Royale. Okay? I want to make sure that we got this here. Let me see here. Up in the All right. Appreciate you guys' patience. They'll get better with health. Seals, what are the Tampa fans saying about us? This is a test. Okay, this is a test this week to find out if you're real or not. Okay, this is a test for them. Jets, as I said, Jets and Texans and the Atlanta Falcons. That's not really telling me who they are right now. You know, that's not telling me. So it's a big test. Listen, I told you this. You guys get the benefit because you're the champs. And you guys get the champ. You're the champs. Let me do this here again. Sorry, guys. So please hit the like button here. He's out 4 weeks. Yes. Seals, do you want Petula to grow with this team and improve, or do you think that they should bring in their 7th coordinator? Grow with this team? David, why would you want the Super Bowl champion to grow with a coordinator? Shouldn't it have been vice versa? Seals, to be elite, you need continuity. A new OC yearly keeps Hurts on the edge of greatness. That's right. Imagine Gruden at OC for 3 to 5 years. Gruden wouldn't be the head coach anytime soon. That's exactly correct. Jalen Hurts, with all these coordinator and philosophy changes and the mentality of the front office on keeping him in that straitjacket, or to John's point, their mentality, because folks, the problem that the Eagles have with Jalen Hurts and why I think Jalen has a small ass with them is that they think that record's theirs. Players are changeable. Coaches are changeable. They believe that's them. And get this. When there's a problem on the team, they trade players and they fire coaches because they're not running their system and not running it the way they want to run it. That's how they see it. Hard to dispute it. They've won 2 Super Bowls with 2 different coaches. Do you know how unlikely that is? I mean, think about it. Steelers have won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different coaches. The Giants, in their 100 years, or since the Super Bowl era, only 2 coaches have won Super Bowls, right? Okay. In Denver, only 1 coach has won Super Bowls, Mike Shanahan. You know how rare that is? Especially in a 25-year period where you can deviate off of Andy Reid, go to Doug Peterson, and then go to Nick Sirianni and win. You built up a Teflon to thinking that you're the reason why you're winning. Instead of the Jimmies and Joes and the coaches and the players. Here, this goes back to the Michael Jordan thing. Okay? Yeah, Derrick Henry's overrated, right? He's 5th all-time in rushing. And he played on the Titans. Henry's overrated. Well, then Barkley stinks. Joe Gibbs, 3 different quarterbacks. I mean, you're right. Has Washington ever won a Super Bowl without Joe Gibbs? No. No, he hasn't. It's next man up mentality. Yeah. And that includes the coaches. Who's having a better season, King Henry or Barkley? I'll say Barkley. Dropping the ball on the turf, 3 straight games, not good for Derrick Henry. But Barkley has been almost as ineffective. He did have that 13-yard touchdown run. I believe it was against the Chiefs. Seals, with Nolan on IR and Dean coming back, do you think they'll bump one of the off-ball linebackers to his spot when Dean returns? No. Dude, John Campbell is staying on the field. Dean's not. What's his name already told you that? Why in the world would I take a guy's development, move him out of position, put him on the edge? I'm not saying, I'm not ripping you. And I'm answering your question more than anything. Why would they stop the development of him being an off linebacker and then put him out there at the edge to bring Dean back? Why would you do that? Still, has Henry lost his step? No. He's just put the ball on the ground. Henry's having a little bit of a fumble. Yeah. First time I think in his career he's ever had that. Seals, what you're saying is every coach and player has concrete boots ready for him at any time, especially in Philly. Well, let's take a look at this. Okay? Here. So, defensively, Gannon. Now, some of these have been elevated to head coaches, right? Okay. Desai, Patricia, Vic. This is just in the Sirianni era. Nick, Shane, Brian Johnson, Kellen Moore, and now KP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You've had 9 coordinator changes on both sides of the football since 2004 in 4 years. You think that's a lot? You think 9 coordinator changes is a lot in 4 years? And this is what they say. The more you do that and you go to Super Bowls, they're going to totally think it's them and not the players. Oh, Vic. Yeah. No, I got Vic in that. That's 9. You have 9 coordinator changes. Don't you think if you're Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, you built up a Teflon thinking, hey, man, this is our way of doing it. And I don't really care whether it's Nick Sirianni or anybody. Nick Sirianni has had 9 coordinator changes? Where in pro football have you ever seen that? That's so uncommon. We're talking about Detroit, like moving coordinators around. Fuck, it's a common thing in Philly. Jalen Hurts is not going to have another coordinator this coming. He's not going to have the same coordinator in 26. Are you fucking crazy? He's going to have a 10th coordinator. Nick's going to have a 10th different coordinator for the 26 season. 10. Going into year 5. I mean, try 0, my guy? Not sure what you're talking about. No, I'm talking about what you've done right now and the development of anybody. How do you develop people when you're constantly changing the room like that? How are you doing that? Help me out. Okay? Help me out on that. Nick spoke. We'll do that here in a minute. One thing more about this Gardner Johnson stuff. I like how you guys have selective memory on CJ. People in here are now saying that Gardner Johnson is a liability. There's something wrong with him. Wasn't anything wrong with him when he helped you win a Super Bowl and 2 NFC championships. Led the NFL in interceptions, was second a year ago. But now he sucks and there's a problem? I don't know about you. I completely disagree with John. Andrew Makuba is not better than him. There's a chance he can be. But who would you rather have? Okay? Well, that mental disorder, get this. You see this guy right here? Didn't seem to be a problem when you were winning NFC championships and Super Bowls. CTE didn't see it to be a problem when you were winning NFC championships and Super Bowls, did it? Well, here, Deshae, ask yourself this. Would you rather have Makuba and Sidney Brown, or would you rather have Makuba and C.J. Gardner? What would you rather have? It's a stupid mentality. So there's a problem with the player, but it wasn't a problem when he was helping you win. Oh, I see. Well, there's too much of a liability. Wasn't a liability when he was on your fucking football team. Was there? Now he's a liability. So wait a minute. You think this sounds better? Andrew Makuba and Sidney Brown versus CJ and Andrew Makuba. You think that group sounds better? Hey, and by the way, I wonder what Reed thinks. Reed's playing like dog shit. Makuba's helping him? Well, at his expense then. Oh, and by the way, what happens if you don't get pressure this weekend on the Bucs? And the Bucs start running the ball because now you don't have a rotation of Nolan Smith, part of that. What happens? Those routes get more developed. That means they get deeper into the secondary. And if you don't have a good pass rush on Sunday, with an offensive line that's 14th in pass protection right now, I don't know. I told you, I'm still favoring Philly in this. They lose, get this, they lose Mike Evans, which is huge. You lose Nolan Smith, which is huge. Where it's the one area on your defense that you struggled mightily. Setting the edge. Teams are running ball off tackle on you. You're 18th in run defense. Or what is it? 24th in rush defense, and you're 18th in total. That's what it is. You're 24th in run defense right now. I mean, you're 24th. Before I bring Xander up, I want to double check that number. I mean, Bucs can run the ball, my friends. They can run. Here. One last thing before we bring Big Z in here. Here it is right here. Total defense. Bucs are 11th. The Eagles are 18th. Here's your run defense, which you struggled at. You can't run it right now, and here's where you are in rush defense. You're 24th against the run. Do you understand that's the lower end of the league? And you're playing good in your front four? You're playing good in your front two. The edges are what's killing you. And get this, that means Bond can't get outside because the edges are getting condensed inside. That's why you don't see him sideline to sideline as much, because there's too much condensed traffic. Woo, baby. This is going to be some fun. And oh, Nicky's going down there a day ahead of time. Hey, Nick, just a little insight for you. If you wanted to get down and go to Mons Venus and you needed some more passes to get into Mons Venus, Big Sills could have hooked you up. I'll get you some free passes there on Dale Mabry. And you just go knock on the door and tell Joe Redden or Big Sills tell them. And Big Sills sent you. It'd be all right if you wanted to get into Mons Venus a little more. Big Sills would have hooked you up there. All right, Super Chats go to the top. We'll read them at the end. Without further ado, man, I'm so happy this guy's here, because then we can have a conversation here And I'll leave it at that. Without further ado, Big Z. Xander Kraus joins us now here, man. And how you doing, Big Z?
What's up, Big Sills? How you living, brother?
How you doing, man?
I don't really know how I'm doing right now, to be honest. First off, I got this fresh JAKIB lid on. Thing delivered today. Can I send you one, Big Sills?
Please.
You like it? Will you rock one?
I would wear it every show.
All right, I'll send you one. You send me your address. I'll ship it right to you.
I would love that.
So I got the rope cap. I don't know. It just came in. I was testing it out. How's it look, everybody? But nothing like some fresh JAKIB merch. And then we got Nolan Smith heading to IR. I mean, not what we expected to see today. In a pretty thin position who hasn't played their best football. You know, you lose a player. Look, I love Nolan Smith. I think he's come a long way. I think he's really taken steps to get forward. But, you know, he just gets hurt every year, man. And he re-aggravated that tricep from the Super Bowl. I talked to Johnny Mack about it. That interview's up on the channel. So, yeah, it's not ideal, you know. And it's one of those things where you're probably not going outside the locker room right now to patch it up. You kind of probably just want to rely on who you have.
You're too late in the week.
Right. And it's not like a season ender, at least we hope it's not. Right now that the optimism is, you can tell by the way the national guys are reporting it after the bye week. They're hoping he's back by that Packer game. Now the minimum is 4 games. So that would technically be after that week 7 game, and he could be ready for week 8. But I don't think they haven't put that out at all. So I think it's 4 games minimum, obviously with the IR, but you could be looking at 5 or 6 weeks really for him. So not ideal. It's a thin position group. You're probably looking at Jalix Hunt needs to step up. Zadarius Smith, you know, if he wasn't already, is now the certified, you know, guy in that room. And then you're probably Josh Uche, Azeez Ojulari. So, you know, it's going to be.
You've struggled against the run there.
Yeah, it is. You know, and Nolan, look, he's been playing good football. Not great. I mean, he's not a superstar yet, but he's been a very viable edge rusher so far for this team and has been good against the run. But, you know, he plays like he's 6'6", 275. And he's not. He's 6'4", 6'3", I think, 230. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out, but it's definitely not ideal for him to be out right now.
I'm going to make a comment, and I don't know this from a can of paint until I talk to somebody. He played in that football game hurt. I'm going to assume that because there's no way he got hurt.
So it's not a tear. This is what I can confirm. It's not a tear. It's a strain, right? So it's not surgical. He's not going to need surgery or anything. You know, what John heard is that basically he played through it in the game, but it wasn't like a thing where he was like, oh, it happened. It was more like after the game, he was in discomfort, kind of like, hey.
For that?
So I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know, sometimes when your tricep breaks, you hear a snap. So if they're saying it's a strain, that's one of those lingering injuries that you're going to have all year until you get rest. The only thing that helps that is rest or surgery.
Well, I think that's what you're looking at for the time here, right? Just basically let it sit.
And you're hoping for the best.
Yeah.
So he must have had an MRI today.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
because there's only one way you find out. The Eagles didn't even tell you he went under for an MRI.
Right. Well, I didn't hear anything about that, but I would assume, you're right.
Because you just don't go like this. Well, he's got to, without having an MRI. I mean, we found out that Mike Evans went in for a MRI, and it came back, and then I found out that he's out 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 potentially, but he went in for an MRI on Tuesday. So Nolan Smith went in on Tuesday for an MRI, and the Eagles didn't want to let it loose until right now when the injury report came out.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Not ideal right now, though, you know, not ideal for this defense. And we're going to need some of these guys to step up who haven't really been asked to do much. I mean, think about it. Your top 4 edge rushers right now are Zadarius, Jalix, Uche, and then take your pick of Obo, Patrick Johnson, or Ojulari. You know, and of those 4, what are his names? Just 6 names. 3 of them were scratched last week. 3 of them are healthy scratches last week, and Obo, Ojulari, and Patrick Johnson. So, you know, it's going to be
worst practiced.
Well, I'll tell you this much too, because I asked John this. I said, so, is there an outside thought process that could be here where maybe line up Jahad Campbell I don't know, just saying, like, if it's that thin for the time being, do you think about something like that?
Yeah, you're going to roll him.
Jahad Campbell didn't practice today. So
Oh,
he's banged up.
no, here, wait. No, I don't believe they're going to stunt the growth of an off linebacker to move him outside there, because to put him in a position that he's not really, that's not his natural position.
I don't either, but he missed practice today. Zach Bowen had a big brace on his knee today. Look, we've been really lucky the last couple of years with injuries, so I'm hoping it doesn't build up.
Are devastated too here going into this game.
I know, but just something to keep an eye on, man. Injuries can derail any NFL season. Doesn't matter how good your football team. And I'm not saying it's going to happen to the Birds. I'm just saying, Campbell's out of practice today. Baum was out of practice today. You got Nolan Smith going to IR. Ja'Cory Bennett goes to IR. Adoree Jackson's banged up. Lane Johnson's banged up. Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens are banged up. I mean, look at Dabney. This guy's incapable of a football conversation because he's such a fanboy. You're a homer, Dabney. Go over somewhere different channel. This is not the right channel for you, buddy.
Listen, this is the war of attrition. This is the roster.
That's what I mean. It's football. You want to talk football or you want to talk fairy tales? Sunshine and fairy tales. It's football. Shit happens. People get hurt. You got to be able to prevail.
And they get the benefit of it.
Yeah. Bennett went to IR too, and Darius Cooper went to IR.
You're light in depth at corner now too.
Well, I mean, now you're either Adoree Jackson, who's also hurt, or Keely Ringo, who hasn't played at all. He doesn't even have one snap.
No wonder Vic said yesterday he's going to get his opportunity.
Yeah.
He knew that Bennett was going to hit the IR.
Yeah.
He was prepping for that because, somebody asked the question. He goes, he's going to get his opportunity. Now I know why he said it. Hey, man, Vic tells you what's going down. He tells you what's going down.
Yeah, he does. It's true.
All right.
But look, this is real adversity though for the team.
First time in 4 years.
Well, it's not season ending, so
no. But I've not seen them be in this position this early in the year in the years I've been covering the team. Usually they get out to great starts, except for last year they got out to a wobbly start, but it wasn't injury related. That way. Well, the receivers were banged up a little bit, right? At the beginning of the year last year when you had AJ and Devontae missing some time. They both missed the Bucs game a year ago, by the way, and so did Lane. So, okay, I want to ask you something because I listened to some of that discussion that you had with John, who didn't want to have any discussion on CJ. And me and you had a conversation before about one thing. I don't want to start a conversation off with somebody going, well, he's a fucking asshole. Well, you got to coach around assholes. And for some reason, you coached around that asshole and that locker room cancer and whatever you want to call him, a negative guy. Well, when that guy was on your football team, dude, somebody coached him around something because you went to 2 NFC titles. You won one. He led the NFL in interception, was second a year ago. He was part of the number 1 ranked defense. I mean, they gave him a contract extension, too, when they signed him again for the second time. All of a sudden now, the guy's production doesn't, and I get it. Headache guy. No doubt about it. Has to be something to it, and I agree. He was a headache in Houston, it seemed. I think he really got frustrated playing on a losing team. And I do.
Well, I said that this morning. I said that this morning. I saw that, Super Bowl winning safety goes to a team who starts 0-3, isn't happy with the way they started, and they fire him.
Did he tweet that?
Somebody tweeted it. But I saw it. I'm like, that's funny. Some organizations will never get out of their own way. Now, I'm not accusing them if that's what's happened here, but I don't know. Look, I mean, you're right. CJ was an asshole, but how big? Because they went to 2 Super Bowls with him. So, and they were within 1 play of winning the other one too. So, look, they've had good luck with him on their football team. I think the best point you brought up too about Reed. I mean, Reed's a different player with CJ next to him, so I don't know. I don't think they're going to bring him back, but why'd the Texans let him go?
Because
I don't know if I'm buying the narrative of he was upset with playing time. They gave him $6.5 million, converted his salary to a signing bonus, 3 weeks ago. They saw a training camp. They had off-season OTAs.
Had to be a blow-up with the coach.
That's what I mean. Something happened. You don't give a guy six. You
Well,
don't convert $6.5 million in cold hard cash.
Chris,
Pay him. They wouldn't have had to pay him that
Nick
much if they were cutting him.
Nick Casario's not doing that.
I agree. So I think something happened. I don't know if it's just him complaining.
Remember when I tweeted out and everybody in here said that I was lying when I said that Christian Parker and him used to get back and forth? Well, that was told to me by Clint Hurt. And Clint played him and they started him because you couldn't get away from his production and how good the player was. So they tolerated that. But there was he didn't even know it. But when he was going down that parade, he was gone. They were moving on from that. They felt they were going to get somebody else in there that was going to be productive. But doesn't it tell you that how he went back a second time to get him? Why wouldn't he go back a third time? You've already proved it that you've gone back and done it once. Yeah. You've got a track record with this.
Doesn't that look a little funny though? It's like, bring him back. You let
it looks
out.
Funny.
Bring
on
him
the
back.
player.
You let him out. You bring him back. It's like, all right, you just make up your mind.
It looks funny on the player, not the organization. Organization's telling you, we know you're good. You're a dickhead. It don't look bad on Howie.
I don't know. I think it does.
That looks bad on the player.
You're telling me Howie trades this guy for a bag of peanuts, a bag of donuts,
and a draft pick,
a stale donuts, that are a couple days old for Kenyon Green, who he cuts, and then they're going to bring back their starting safety. That's like basically saying you didn't fix the safety position at all, and you resulted back. You should have just kept the guy in the room.
Well, isn't that what you do with Fred Johnson?
Well, that's fair, but that's not a starter. And Fred, to be honest, as I've heard, it was reported the Eagles wanted Fred back. Yep. Fred wanted the opportunity to be a starter. Yeah. So, I think Fred's entitled to that.
Right. And they caught him off guard because Gardner Johnson said he was totally caught off guard by it.
Yeah. Well, Gardner Johnson, I don't know, man. I like the player a lot. I think it's a no-brainer. He would make this football team better, but there's something there, man. There obviously. And again, you got where people might be right is it might be some suits, who don't like alpha type players who are, you know what I mean, big and loud and in your face type of dudes. And maybe that's it. But he's a good football player. He'll help this football team. But I will say this. Makuba's better than him in coverage. He's been better than him through 3 games than he was all last year in coverage. So are you stunting the growth of Makuba to bring him back when you have a decent size upside right now with Makuba? That's probably the biggest reason I wouldn't want to bring him back, because I know people are talking about slide him into the nickel. He was drafted as a corner. I doubt they're going to kick Cooper to the outside. I don't think that's even something worth considering. But I even said after 1 game, we better go to safety. Makuba's been good. Makuba's been fine. So I don't really want to stunt the growth of Makuba.
Last year you were number 1 in pass defense. Right now you're 12th.
Yeah, well, the defense isn't the same. That's for sure. You think he helps that? Because boy, I saw a couple.
I do. I
did see some tape come out of. I did see some tape come out of Houston where he was getting torched, misreads, just not playing defense the right way. So I don't know. I mean, look, I think he would help the team. I just don't think they're going to bring him back.
Okay, well, how does this sound? Sidney Brown and Makuba, or Makuba and CJ?
You getting Reed out of there?
No, I'm talking about the depth at that position.
Yeah, I mean, the latter sounds better, obviously. Yeah.
Well, if you don't hear, I told you this yesterday, you got the leverage on this guy. And I heard John say this, well, how's he going to feel about taking, a league minimum paycheck? Bro, you're in league minimum world right now.
Well, he kind of just got his $6.5 million, so I think he might be all right to take league minimum.
Right.
I mean, most of his salary already got paid out.
That converted thing.
They converted. I think his salary was what, $9 million?
Right. They paid him out the door that money.
I don't know. Let me ask you this, because I agree, like from a sense on the foot, from strictly like if you're playing Madden and you're looking at like football only, yeah, he's better. Like, do you think he is what this team needs at this point?
I think the defense needs more playmaking football players.
That's a fair answer.
I mean, I think they need some playmakers and some ball hawks. Hey, how do you think Cooper's played without CJ back there?
Cooper's been all right. He hasn't been elite, but he's been okay. He's been solid. Solid.
Okay, how do you think Reed's played?
Reed, not too good.
Okay, so without Slay and CJ in there, the secondary's been, would we not say lesser? I've seen Q beaten.
Well, I mean, everybody's going to get beat. It's the NFL.
I'm not dissing the kid. I'm saying that I see more plays against him now than I did a year ago because you had more quality guys in the secondary, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. It's fair to say that for sure.
So let's turn this around and I'll ask you this question. Do you really think that – how do you think Jalen Carter's played?
Jalen Carter has been good, not great. And when you have a player like that, you expect great.
How much do you think the loss of Josh Sweat and Milton Williams have played also with him not playing?
I don't know, man. I think
you're getting blown up on the edges.
Well, I think probably some, but why does Jordan Davis look like the best he's ever looked? And also coming off a year where he clearly worked his ass off, to get into shape, Jordan Davis clearly did all the things in the offseason that when there's no cameras on a player, you can't control what they do. You can only hope they're preparing and doing the things necessary. Jordan Davis has proven not only in the way he looks, but in the way he's played that he prepped for the season this year. Can you say the same about Jalen Carter? As good of a player as he is.
But the teams aren't threatening the middle. They're not threatening the middle. They're threatening the edges. You're 18th against the run, dude. It's not him. It's not. It's the edges. The loss of Milton Williams and Josh Sweat have been a problem now that you lose Nolan Smith. It's an even bigger problem. And if people don't think that with Tristan, now I don't know how many plays Tristan Wirfs going to play. You come back this year first time, you had knee surgery on July 8th. Okay, so I don't know what kind of condition he's going to be in. But if you don't think that they're going to threaten the edges, they're going to threaten the edges again like the Rams did. Like, do you think the Rams have a great O-line? I don't. I mean, your edge rushers right now are giving it up on the run big time, and it's been limited pressure.
No,
you're gonna have to create.
You think Jordan Davis has been the best defensive player on this team?
I do.
Right? Probably Zach Bond, number 2. No, I think he's a Bond, probably 1 still.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Jordan's flashed more. He had a sack last week. He ran down that dude, stopping a first down. He blocked a field goal, game winning. Ran it back, scoop and score. He played well in the Kansas City game. I thought he played well even in the Cowboy game.
How much does the loss of Nolan Smith change your thoughts on Tampa game? Or none at all?
Minimal.
How come?
Because I think they're devastated because they lost Luke Gedeke. I don't know what Wirfs is going to be like. How much, again, is it going to be where that's not just a push? I think it's a push right now. The question will be, will Philly be able to get pressure on Baker Mayfield? He's made a lot of fucking plays with his legs, dude.
Yeah.
And
I like Baker, man.
What was the one thing that hurt you in that Kansas City game? It wasn't Mahomes' arm. They couldn't keep Mahomes contained. Mayfield's going to get out in the perimeter. And if you can't set the edge and keep him in the box, he's going to make plays to extend the sticks. They got a good running game going, too.
Yeah, who I was going to say?
6.
I like Bucky Irving, man.
The kid White's good.
Yeah. Yeah, what's his name? Zamir White?
Rashad White.
Oh, Rashad White. That's right. Yeah, no, he's good. I like Bucky Irving a lot. I love the way he runs.
Here's the problem that you have with Mike Evans being out against the Bucs. Ready? Here's the biggest issue. Who takes on all the double teams? He opens it up for Mika Buka to be able to have the single coverage. He's still learning how to get open. Now that
I'm not too worried about those receivers right now. Mike Evans is out. Godwin's coming.
That's what I mean. No. They don't have anybody really Sterling Shepard, the kid from
Yeah, right.
Is that the New York Giant guy?
Former Giant guy, yeah. So they're not in good shape. I mean,
They're not in
Mike
good
Evans
shape,
is out.
right?
And look, they're going to have, what's his name back, Godwin, but he hasn't played in a while. That's going to be tough to acclimate right away.
How many plays? 20, maybe?
Yeah, right. Right.
Okay.
They still have good guys, but I do think the loss of Nolan Smith affects that game. I mean, they got injured offensive linemen, so if you have less pressure or you're relying on Uche, or Jalen Hunt to get pressure, that might give Baker that extra half a second.
That's
I
right.
think if I look it up, let me just look it up real quick. I'll go to next gen stats. I think Baker Mayfield is one of the fastest throwers of the football right now in
Why is that?
time to throw. Let me get it. Second fastest in the NFL right now behind Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
2.6 seconds to throw.
Why is that?
Because he's got to get rid of it. There's no offensive line.
Absolutely. And what's the other biggest thing to that? Why you're not going to see a lot of throws to what position? Tight ends. They don't have time to develop those tight ends any longer. So you got to get that ball out, backs. You got to get wheel routes. You got to throw that ball out. Yeah. That's why there's not really a threat to the middle of the field, because the tight end position has had limited. Otten's not.
Well, you know who's a big player in this game then again is Jordan Davis, because what did the Eagles do last week? So the top four quarterbacks in football for time to throw. Number one, Patrick Mahomes. Eagles already played him and knocked him off his spot. Number two, Baker Mayfield, 2.6 seconds. Patrick Mahomes was 2.51. Number three, Matthew Stafford, 2.61. So three of the four, number fourth is Aaron Rodgers, 2.61 as well. So, three of the four we're already going to have faced, and we'll get the third one this weekend in Baker. But so they got to get that interior pressure, make it hard for him. He will escape, but he's not like a runner, but he can escape. So I think he's good. Look, I like Baker. I'm a Baker guy. I really am. I like the way he plays the game. I think he's got the mentality and the it factor you need to prevail and will your team to more wins than they should get. So I like Baker, but interior of that D-line is going to need a big game, especially with Nolan out.
Battle Royale will happen at the bottom of the hour. Your super chats are wanted, and we appreciate it here. All right, Kevin Patullo. Funny, I heard John say something, and he said that the number one priority is to stop Jalen Hurts. Well, then why are they flooding the lanes on first and second down? They are flooding the lanes because they're afraid of Barkley getting to the second level, dude. They don't want him getting to the second level and getting going, because if that guy gets going, watch this. Barkley versus a safety. Who do you have in open space?
Right. Well, no, that's a part of it, but isn't that still more focused on the passing game when you have bracket coverage like that?
I'm not concerned about your passing game.
Well, the point is that they're trying
to take it away.
Well, that's why they're blitzing so much, because they're trying to keep Jalen in the pocket.
I think it's got more to do with Barkley.
Well, I think it's an added benefit when they're off. When the Eagles' offensive line isn't creating the holes at the line of scrimmage like they were, it's a lot harder for Barkley, because you are like when you stack a box, it's hard to get through. But if the hole is there, you're going to take it 70 because there's nobody back to protect. So they're not stacking the box right now, so it's a lot harder to hit the home runs. And then if you zoom in a little bit and look at the Eagles' offensive line, dude, they're not getting the push that they were a year ago. They're not creating the holes that they were a year ago. Barkley, dude, last year Barkley led the NFL in yards carried before being touched by a defender. I forget how you quantify that stat, but somebody did it. It was like 2.6 yards before Barkley even had a defender. Right now, it looks to me from the eye test, I don't have the stat in front of me. It looks to me from the eye test, he's getting touched at the line of scrimmage or behind it.
Because they're flooding the lanes.
Yeah, well, but they're also not winning at the line of scrimmage on the offensive line.
Right, they're not. I'll tell you who's playing worse than Landon is the center.
Yeah, Cam's not been great.
Okay, he's not played very well. Every week I went back and watched. Landon is, is okay. The center's just not playing well.
Landon's been getting moved, dude.
Well, Chris Jones is going to move a lot of folks, man. He's going to move Trees, and he's going to move Landon. Now, Landon in the Super Bowl, when he was healthy, he wasn't really healthy in that game. He still kicked it. I thought it was a really good battle between those two.
I just somebody brought this up in the comments, about with Nolan going down, and he re-injures the same tricep, right? And it's like, no, Landon, right now, the same things are bothering him, the knee and the back. Cam Jurgens coming off of back surgery just doesn't look the same. I don't want to I'm not trying to throw a conspiracy or anything like that, but are the Eagles rushing guys back or something? Is there something wrong with this? I don't know. I mean, no one re-aggravates the same tricep. Landon's dealing with the same issues today that he was at the end of the season. Cam Jurgens has that same back problem. Now, I think that one's a little different because back surgery is always going to F you up a little bit. But I don't know. I think it's worth I think it's worth a conversation. Should they be letting these guys I know it's early. I know we got to win games. I know we need Landon Dickerson. But would you rather have Landon play like this for every game this season or get back healthy by week 9 and he plays like all-pro Landon Dickerson again? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would want him fully healthy.
Okay. Let's answer your question here. How many days ago was February 11th? So in 225 days, you played that deep for the second time in 3 years. You've been to the playoffs every single year. You telling me that did they rush him back? Well,
I don't know.
Your offseason was only 225 days to today.
Yeah, right.
Not to training
really
camp.
160.
Yeah, to train. You had 100 days to get your bodies back in shape after going that deep for a second time in 3 years.
Yeah, I'm not accusing them or anything like that. I'm just wondering, it is a little bit of a weird trend.
Doesn't it seem like the war of playing playoff football? This is kind of what that looks like. They're a little worn out here. They look like they're in February right now, like they did a year ago.
Yeah.
They look they look worn out right now, some of these guys.
Yeah. So this is a common. I get this a lot here. Deshae says, the good thing about this is happening early. Get it out of the way. The only problem I have with that, Deshae, I agree. I mean, it's obviously better to happen now.
Well, they're not going to get in better shape by the end of the year, are
that's
they?
what I mean. You're playing football, Deshae. That comes with the assumption that these injuries that have happened through the first 3 weeks are just not going to come anymore, late in the year. What makes you think that they're not going to? Again, we're speculating. We don't know. It could go your way. It could not. But I'm just saying this thought process comes with the assumption that they're not going to have any injuries late in the year. So, it's never a good thing whenever it happens, but you just got to keep an eye on it, dude. Look, I named all the players. Jihad and Dean. Bond had a big-ass brace on today on his knee.
Man.
Look at Senor. This dude is so incapable of retention. Does Xander want to put everyone on IR right now? Yep, Senor, just load up the IR, brother. We don't want anybody. Yeah,
that's
Senor,
what we
that's
do.
exactly
We're the ones that set the IR for the
I don't know, Senor. You tell me. Nolan Smith just got put on IR with the same tricep he hurt in the Super Bowl. No thought going through that space cadet head of yours? Nothing up there? Come on, Senorita.
Do you think this affects his future?
Who?
Nolan Smith.
Well, I think you're kind of building
a case.
I think it looks like, some guys just get labeled injury prone, man. They just can't escape the injury bug in their career. It's, you've seen it. It plagues players on every team. It'll always happen. It's the NFL. Looks like Lane or what's his name? Nolan has that kind of tag on him now. He just can't stay healthy. Last year he played half the year. The first year he didn't play much because of injuries. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I do think he's kind of got that tag, and it's going to be hard to overcome when you're an undersized edge rusher and you got the tag of you can't stay healthy.
Yeah, man. And your rotation heading into Sunday is going to be, like you said, Jalix Hunt, Zadarius Smith, and Uche. That's the 3 dudes you're going into that game against?
That's the top 3.
If you're Kevin Patullo heading into this game, what's the number one thing you want to establish?
If you're who? Kevin Patullo?
Yeah.
Well, you know me. I want to throw the football. I want to get my receivers involved. Now, I don't know if that's yeah. A.J. Brown.
Why?
Dude, because AJ's always open. All right? I'm done with this excuse that, he wasn't open, guys. Go watch the tape. Bullshit. If A.J. Brown's in one-on-one, get him the football. So that's number one for me. I like A.J. Brown. I think he helps us win football games. I don't fall into this trap of its high-risk football. No, it's not. All right? It's high-risk football throwing the ball to Queasy Watkins. It's not high-risk football throwing the ball to A.J. Brown. Get A.J. involved, and then you probably want to run, but, the Bucs have how are they in run defense right now?
They are 6th.
So they got Vita Vea still obviously in the middle. Like they
They've
have what
lost
they need.
Elijah Cansey.
Right, they lost Cansey. That's big. He's a good
Yeah,
player.
it is. But
Yeah.
let me
Is he
double check.
done for the year or is he IR?
He's gone for the year.
Ooh.
The Bucs are giving up 84 yards per game per.
Jeez, we're giving up a lot more than that in Philly. 84 a game is good.
Yeah, they're giving up 84 yards. You're giving up 133 yards a game.
Yeah, that's closer to double than not double.
And I would go here with it. And I don't really believe it's Davis. I think it's the edges that are getting killed. And I think it's condensing those guys because they're getting washed down. It's hurting the linebacker scraping to the outside. And that's how guys are getting those stretch plays going, dude.
I still kind of feel like we're gonna beat up on these guys.
And where's the advantage of beating them up?
Well, I mean, if you look at the 1-4 record versus them, we've never been fully healthy versus them. We've never had all AJ, Devontae, Saquon.
You're 1-4 versus them.
1-4, 1-3. But we had like Lane missing. AJ missed, I think, 3 of the games.
Okay.
So 3 of the losses, 8. You know what I mean? Like you've never had all the guys together. So if AJ's out there, Devontae's out there, Jalen's out there, Saquon's out there, I feel pretty good about what we're going to be able to do to them offensively. Now they got to have a response for the blitz. They got to be able to manage Todd Bowles. And I think, Swoop is asking this question. Swoop, no confirmation yet, brother. But if Lane Johnson's out, that's going to be a tough test, because they got Hassan Reddick over there who's playing good football right now. So, who else do they have coming off the edges? They got Hassan.
They have that kid Dobby. They're not getting pressure on the ball carrier either. So here's something I'm reading here. Looks like no individual drills for Lane Johnson. He's watching off to the side, and he's been limited, and he's been put in on the injury report as limited. Oof. I'll tell you what, I don't know who's going to be healthy for this fucking game on Sunday. I mean,
there's a lot to we have a lot to discover and learn until we can we can get some clarity.
I'm going to make you feel better though. All right,
I'm going to make you feel better. I think we're going to
hold on. Okay, hero. I'm going to make everybody feel better here. Watch this. Okay, Cowboys, Kansas City. The team was in the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
Rams are a good team. Hey, whether they took the L or not, they're good, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Sean McVay nutted up and choked that game away in the end. And guess what? They didn't steal the game. The Eagles took the game. Now here, I'm going to go on the Bucs side. Ready? Atlanta, the Texans, the Jets. There's one win there. My attitude is this with the Bucs. Are you really 3-0? The Eagles get the benefit of the doubt, dude. They're 19-1.
I don't love that though. I'm not gonna lie to you,
bro. The Jets are not going anywhere.
I know that, but
Atlanta's not going anywhere.
I know that, but you have to look at it. I think in a little bit more of an all-encompassing way. I mean, Tampa's been struggling with injuries to start the year right now. Baker has kind of looked really good as a quarterback and that's what I mean. So I mean, I don't know. You envision a world where Mike Evans gets healthy, Godwin gets healthy. Tristan Wirfs comes back. I think the Bucs are still a good football team. You're right; they've been close games. Some of them really resemble
last second drives.
Some of them really resemble that Liars September that you talk about. But I still think they're a good team. And Baker Mayfield is the type of quarterback in terms of getting the ball out quick that can give our defense some hard times. Now we've handled Stafford well, we handled Mahomes well, so we'll say I think we're in a good spot. I do.
Okay, well let me flip that on the other end. You're right with everything you just said about Evans and Godwin and Wirfs and all that, and the Bucs are 3-0. What's your excuse for playing poorly?
None. What do you mean? There is no excuses.
Okay,
there's no excuses for any team. It is what it is.
Well, there's a reason that the Bucs may be inconsistent because of the law. Last week they had 14.
Well, there are excuses that we got a new coordinator who's got training wheels on,
which is common in Philly. That's the game plan.
Very common, as you've talked about here on the show.
It's 9 coordinators in 4 years.
We're like the coordinator factory, baby.
Good
You
and
either
bad.
come here and get fired or you come here and you get hired. That's how it goes in Philly.
How'd you like that fucking lawyer's answer that Nick gave on CJ? I
Hey,
like
they're
my
not-
room. I like my room right now.
Yeah, that's a Nick answer. He's
Why not-
gotten so bad. Bob Lang has coached him up so
Oh
well.
my God,
Congratulations to you, Bobby boy.
How do you think most coaches would go like this? You know what? We're not looking in the rearview mirror. We like our guys. We're moving forward with them. We're not revisiting anything like that. No, thank you very much. Why not do that? You could have ended it all. Instead, it's this one. Lawyer's answer. Like, right now, we love our room. Oh, right now? What's that mean? Could it change?
Well, it can change.
Wait a minute. No, they would entertain it then, according to John, if there was an injury.
If they had an injury, absolutely they'd entertain.
What if the Bucs beat them this weekend and there's play in the secondary where you fucking go like this? Hey,
and Makuba looks like shit.
or Reed does.
Yeah, Reed. Well, I don't think they're replacing Reed.
No, but they might add. So what if they get beat and Maker goes for 310 and throws for 310 with shit receivers and they beat you guys? You're not looking at CJ. Oh my God! This week now we changed our mind.
Let me go look at these stats for the Bucs team right now.
They're not very good in the passing game.
Who's catching passes for them?
Dude, they can't. I think it's
outside of Ibuka.
It's Sterling Shepard, and I think what they're going to do also.
Yeah, it's literally Sterling Shepard is their second leading receiver.
Who hasn't put up bad numbers?
Ryan Miller.
What is Bucky Irvin? How many catches does he have coming out of the backfield?
Bucky Irving's got catching. He has 14 receptions on 14 targets for 91 yards.
Okay, what about White?
Ibuka has 21 targets, 14 catches, 181 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Wow, 3 touchdowns for Ibuka already.
For a rookie.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see more passes to the backs in this game.
Maybe.
Okay, that's where I think.
Yeah, they got Rashad White. That's right.
So I think you're going to get those backs more involved. Remember something a year ago? What's his name? Had 400 yards receiving. Bucky Irvin. He can catch the football.
Who did I mix up Rashad White with? Zamir White. Where's he went now? He was the Georgia kid. That's who I mixed him with. Is he with L.A. Raiders? No, Vegas Raiders. That's what I meant. Vegas.
I think he's in Las Vegas.
Let me look him up because I don't know. I got him mixed up with Rashad. Zamir White. Yeah, he's with Vegas. Yeah, he was Georgia. That's why he was in my head.
By the way, Battle Royale will be at the bottom of the hour. So, hey, Keely Ringo's going to play?
I guess.
I mean, dude, I don't know what the fuck to make of this game. I'm favoring the Eagles, though. I'm favoring the Eagles.
I am too. I just feel like we're going to beat them.
Not a lot. I'm not by a lot. By the way, how are you going to handle blitzing?
Yeah, well, that's a big question with Lane Johnson.
And
Lane's out. It's going to be and Cam,
and with Barkley, he's not really.
This is how you handle blitzing. You pass the ball successfully when they blitz.
No way.
And then when they beat them so bad with it, they stop blitzing. John's like, well, they stopped blitzing in the second half of the Rams game. I'm like, oh, I wonder why. John's like, they stopped blitzing, so they were able to pass. I'm like, I don't think so, John. I think they started throwing the ball successfully, and then they stopped blitzing because they had to sit back in coverage. I mean, holy shit.
Get the ball.
Throw the ball well. Teams will not blitz as much. That's why coaches don't blitz guys like Aaron Rodgers and Stafford. You don't do that. Or Mahomes. They torch you. The Eagles had 0 threat through the air through 10 quarters of football. Everybody was blitzing them like crazy.
What's that percentage you guys said that teams are blitzing the Eagles?
Yeah, it's almost 48% on dropbacks. 48%. That's unheard of.
So half the dropbacks, they're bringing pressure.
Yep. And now there's one thing I'll call out that I'm calling on Jalen Hurts to improve at. Because it is on him. John's afraid to say it. I don't know. I don't know why. Like, I love Jalen Hurts. It's like the guy's not above. I mean, you can talk about him. He's a quarterback. He's making $50 million. He's the leader of our organization. He's held to a high standard. He holds himself to a high standard. You got to get the hot routes in the offense. If they're bringing 15-0 blitzes, you got to get a hot route in the offense with A.J. Brown. You have to. That's a quarterback thing. That's not really an offense thing. I don't think it's true. I think John's right about this. I don't think it's not in the offense. That's not really how it works.
So you think it's Nick?
No, I think it's Jalen.
Jalen.
Jalen's got to get to the line of scrimmage. If he sees blitz, he's got to signal a hot route. Now, they've fallen a little bit in love with when there's press man on the outside, they go to the go route, which is good, but I do think you got to give them a short, quick pass, underneath. I don't think they take advantage of that because when a guy blitzes, look, what's the best way to beat him? Throw behind the blitz. They don't do that at all. So that would probably be one area where I would say Jalen's got to improve right now.
Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Super chats will be read here in a second. Couple more here. Do you think the Eagle management, do you think the Eagle coaching or the Eagle philosophy, whatever you want to circle, stops Jalen Hurts from being an elite quarterback?
I heard you say that earlier.
In the passing game. Do you think they stop him from being an elite thrower from the pocket?
That's an interesting question because in the few moments where they've asked him to be, I think even you would agree he's looked pretty damn elite.
Okay.
2 different Super Bowls.
Sure.
Pittsburgh last week.
But they don't.
No, but to go to your point, like they don't
dial it up a lot.
No, I know that. So it's a fair question by you. I'll say this. I think at large, Jalen is way better at throwing the ball than people give him credit for. Like people talk about Jalen like it's like he can't throw. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. He's not Joe Burrow, but like, dude, he can throw the ball.
The only problem is pressure and finding it where it's coming from.
Well, and I think that's a learning.
Not throwing it.
I mean, that's part of him as a learner.
Hey, I saw Aaron Rodgers last week throw some squirrels. Okay, I mean, listen here. So is it the organ? See, because the organization again with their arrogance will go like this. We're going to win our way. We're going to put the kid in the box, and he's going to win our way because we're 19-1.
Probably.
And if you don't like it, and that's why those guys are on the sidelines bitching about it, going, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, but they went. So my problem with this is, last year they became the team they became because the offensive line went to Nick and said, "We got to play this way." Now, I know you're 3-0 this year, but your offense doesn't look as good. Saquon Barkley doesn't look as good. Your defense isn't as good. Your offensive line's not as good.
Yeah.
That would insinuate, hey, we got to make some changes this year. And Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown are out there hollering, hey, man, we don't want to play this way.
Oh, my God, I got another one for
you. Are they going to listen to him this time again? Last year they listened to the offensive line. I'm on Team Jalen and Team AJ with this one. I said it yesterday. I said it this morning. I'm going to continue to say it. I'm on Team AJ and Team Jalen when it comes to how the Eagles should be playing offense. Stop playing to not lose. You got the best offensive personnel the Eagles have ever had. Oh, Lord. Go ahead.
Do you think that management and coaching has hurt the relationship with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts?
Nah.
They don't seem to be on. I'll tell you what, I don't think they're pen pals anymore.
Nah.
I heard somebody, hey, anybody in Philly, I need a good quarterback. There was another one. What else did he say here? Hey, we got to have the quarterback on time and we have to have communication. The guy was taking his shit on everyone.
You didn't see him dapping each other up last game?
Dapping each other. Yeah.
They did their little dance where they do like the flingy thing. I don't know how to do it.
Tell you what, you think A.J. Brown's happy with this passing game?
Absolutely not. He's told us that 3 weeks in a row. I don't even have to speculate.
Exactly.
But he knows what they're capable of.
But he's got to think that the quarterback should have more balls to go to them and go, hey, fuck this. Let's go.
See, Dad says this. Really hard to argue 19-1. It is.
But
Dad, don't you agree? Like it was
that's their kryptonite to all of it.
17 of the 20 games in there, were last year. Like the NFL's different every year. You know what I mean? Like I get it. You're right. It is impressive at large, but I don't think it means it's impressive to the point of like we cannot change a thing in a new year. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I do too, bud. Makes it quite hard to respond.
Oh, Bud. Oh, you've been here a long time.
How about my apology segment to you getting over 5K
my God,
on
I
YouTube?
freaking hated that, man.
Your Aunt Betty loved it. I bet your Aunt Betty liked it.
Oh no, she laughed. She goes like this. She goes, "You don't really like
Aunt Betty, I love Big Still. Sometimes, look, I'd like to call Kim Sileo to the stand.
Oh my God!
Now she's not going to actually come to the stand, but I'll ask this: do you ever get tired of Mr. Dan Sileo? Do you ever have to shit on Big Sills after a couple days? It's Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was after the game.
Hey, Xander, I'll do this to her. Go like this. Just a normal conversation. Who's the biggest asshole you've ever known?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. Wait, somebody commented on your video yesterday, and they said Dan calling CJ an asshole. So ironic. A true asshole calling an asshole an asshole.
Oh man. Hey,
I commented back. I said, I bet you he would agree with this comment.
Oh, completely. Absolutely true. Absolutely. All right. Yeah. So here, one more time on this Blankenship conversation here. They're not happy with him right now, right?
I don't know if they're happy with him or not. He's been okay.
Okay,
I'm not paying him right now.
Okay, it's not $15 million.
I'll pay him $8.
$8. You think he's better than Gardner Johnson?
He's a different type of player.
Oh,
he is. Gardner Johnson's a freelancer. Dan. Gardner's a freelancer. You know it. He makes plays, but he also gets beat. Although Reed got burnt last week too. And everybody keeps telling me, oh my God, Devontae pushed off. I'm like, yeah, he was also already burnt toast, but okay. Reed Blankenship trying to run down the field with Devontae Adams. That ain't working.
Well, who's going to get that call? Devontae Adams or Reed Blankenship?
Exactly.
I don't think Reed's getting that call.
Exactly right.
You think
who would pay Reed in the chat? Anybody would pay Reed. How much you paying Reed?
No. Hey, you think this? So you don't think this game's close then?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not Friday. Let me make my pick on Friday. I have a good feeling because the Eagles always take narratives that are against them and they correct them in such a big way, So I have a feeling they're going to come out and take it to them. I do.
Let's get to the supers.
All right. You didn't like my response. Jason says, what's up, Jace? Thanks for the $10, dude. If the Eagles don't prepare for the blitz versus the Bucs, someone should get fired, period. Bowles blitz is our kryptonite. Jason, it's not our kryptonite. Don't fall into those cowboy narratives. It's not our kryptonite at all. We were missing A.J. Brown for all the games. Lane Johnson was out for one of the games. Devontae Smith was out for 2 of the games.
We don't make
excuses here. Missed some of the games. We haven't had a healthy team versus the Bucs yet. And by the way, the last time we did have a healthy team versus the Bucs, we beat them by 2 touchdowns in Tampa Bay. So take all that kryptonite bullshit and flush it. This is my point of this narrative exists. And the Eagles are going to flush it down the toilet.
1-4. Oh, 19-1. Pick
I'm
one.
With Robert B. I pay Reed 7.5. Robert, I'm with you, brother. Man. JD says that's 7.8. Yeah, 7-8. Here's Kimberly. OC at Georgia's name is literally Mike Bobo. Love Kirby.
No, absolutely. Yeah. He's a really good coach.
Here's Perez. What's up, Perez? Get a 2-score lead, throw in the ball, then run the clock out with Barkley. We need to play like we did in 22, up 21.5, then run the clock. Well,
yeah, well, that's all well and said here, but Barkley's not having a good year.
Yeah. Here's Josh. If D'Amico Ryans couldn't get that dude under control, then CJ Gardner Johnson must be one hell of a prick.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, there's your next head football coach in Alabama.
D'Amico?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I will get behind that. That sounds banging. I love the idea of that.
Head football coach after you guys get destroyed by Georgia this week.
You think we're hanging in that game or no?
3 quarters. Then they'll pull away.
I don't know. Georgia hasn't been impressed me too much this year.
Their wideouts are not very good.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. They're still Georgia, but they're not the same Georgia.
No. They're light in the D line.
They squeaked by Tennessee this weekend.
Yeah.
It's a good win, but
it's not bad, dog.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Tennessee's a good team. Nathan says Xander has Sills in a straitjacket. I don't know. I don't think that's true at all. So, have you ever had a show with as much freedom as you have on the National
No.
Football Show?
No.
No way, right?
No, none. Zero.
Yeah.
Somebody goes like this. You should hear Sileo's Tampa show. It's like he's on his P's and Q's.
What's the opposite of a straight
It's
jacket?
fucking radio.
What's
I
the
could be
opposite of a
me
straight
here.
jacket? You got like an invisible cloak here.
That's fucking funny, dog.
Oh,
No,
man.
I like the freewheeling here. I do.
Yeah,
like
here's roll Philly. Got to make a move at edge or cornerback or both. I'll tell you this: those corners are going to get accentuated to be even worse because of the edge. I mean, what's the best way to mask a cornerback deficiency with a good edge rush? What are you laughing at?
Look at
Philly 500 name.
Look at in the green room. Look at
Philly 500. The audience won't see it.
Cowboys tears. Look at
Cowboys tears. Kimberly said Carson Beck sells its coaching. Another Bobo at Georgia.
Yeah.
Here's Almighty Lambo. I know we are all birds over here, but how do you feel about the Giants looking to start their rookie quarterback behind a trash O-line and right before? Dude, if I'm the Giants, this is why you don't stick with coaches that suck. All right. Sometimes it's better to just fire fast because Brian Daboll's a dumbass. Now they're going to put the new rookie quarterback they just drafted behind a shitty offensive line versus some of the best. I think they have the Chargers this weekend, who are obviously a good defense.
Going to blow them out.
Dude, you're gonna mess up the development of the rookie quarterback. Why though? It's not because they want to develop Jackson Dart. It's because Brian Daboll has to keep his job. That's it.
Here, get this. Derwin James was just named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and you're throwing into coverage with that guy in the secondary back there. Hey, if I was Malik Neighbors, I'd take out extra insurance in that game because that dude can hit. He's my favorite safety in the game today, dude. Sorry, Reed.
I think we got this. Q-Ball, I adopted yours and JJ's mindset. He's productive. I want him on my team. People brushing him off are dumb. Yeah, no, he's productive. I'll take him. I just don't think the Eagles are going to do it. Here's our last one. Kyle says, if I see run up the middle or run on 3rd and 18, the fire Patullo rants are coming. Yo, what is up with that? The Eagles, is that just what we do now? 3rd and long, and it's just like, okay, we're done playing football for the drive. I hate that. It's such a bitch mentality.
Absolutely, man.
Bitch mentality. I hate that.
Here's the last one here.
If Daboll gets fired, should he? No. Dude,
no.
Keep that guy far away from the Eagles. I want nothing to do with Brian Daboll. That guy stinks. He absolutely reeks. He reeks. All right.
Big Z. So you don't want Gardner Johnson back?
I'll take him back. I just don't think the Eagles are going to do it.
Okay. All right. Oh, real quick here. What'd you make of fingernail polish taking out the Cowboys last week?
Who, Caleb?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. Caleb Williams has his bet. Wait a second, no. Nah, I'm not going to say
No, he's the NFC.
I'm not going to say it because I could have just given Mark Holmes some ammo.
Hey.
But I won't do it. So, Mark, you're going to have to read my mind. There is ammo when you talk about that game last week when it comes to the Cowboys as it pertains to the Eagles. But Caleb Williams has his best passing game of his career versus the shitty Cowboys. 4 touchdown passes, 298 yards, wins the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Boy, the Cowboys are down bad. It is just a tough life over there, man. I respect Mark's ability.
Played great.
He has, but you got to hang in there, Mark. I know it's been a long 30 years, but it might be a long 30 more, my friend. Unfortunately. All right. Later, everybody.
I will catch you on Birds in the Morning there, Xander. Thank you, brother.
All right, bro. Peace.
You got it. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you do me a favor. All super chats will be read at the end of this here as well. So, my friend, there was one of the 2 guys in here, and I'm just assuming that you would know, had a proctologist visit. And, then it was another, I've never seen a guy get 2 of them in 1 week. And it was Cowboys and Bears. And then at the end of this whole thing, I wonder what Philly 500 was thinking as the Rams were kicking the shit out of his football team for 2.5 quarters. And they had 34 yards of total offense. They had plus or minus, 3 yards with that prolific passing game. And then what happens? Sean McVay gags the game away, and the Eagles took it from them. They didn't steal it from them. They took it from them. Without further ado, 2 best guys we have weekly on the program, and I say that with great respect to everybody we get, from Ice Cube to Jimmy Johnson, and I mean that. It's one of the funnest segments we have. They do great work for their channels, their respected channels. We start with the man who covers the Dallas Cowboys. What a chore that is. He is the legendary Mark Holmes. And we bring in the one and only Cowboy Tears. That is Philly 500. Both guys are jumping in here, and how you doing, Mark?
Oh, poor me. I talked so much shit. That first half of that Eagles game, I talked so much. You know what? I deserve everything that is coming my way because I was like, they're dead in the water. And I was like, I can't wait. I said, the Cowboys, if they can get a win against the Bears, I'm going to go into the Dan Sileo show. And I'm just not going to say, I'm just going to sit there with a cheesy ass grin on my face and just. And then all of a sudden, it was the same feeling I had when I was at the Super Bowl, Atlanta and New England. And it was just like, oh, shit, they might come back and win.
So did you have those emotions like when the flea flicker against you guys, and then they were coming back? So was it like the doctor's visit you had? It was just all of a sudden a little.
And the doctor's visit was easy in comparison to what happened this weekend, man. I was so excited. It was almost like I was living vicariously through the Rams, like it was my team playing against the Eagles. The Eagles were getting mollywopped. You know, it was like 30 yards of offense. I'm like, look at this, man. They're getting the shit. And it's like, finally. And Philly's over there kind of like, man, we suck, man. Yeah, we fucking suck, man. And Philly's just about to melt down. And I'm just like, yes. And then they came back and won. And then I had to sit through watching my team. I don't even know if I can call them a team anymore right now. It's just my defense is just a bunch of guys that are on the field when the other team has the ball.
Man, I tell you, that was a tough loss for the Cowboys against that Bears team. All right, Philly, I mean, you got your ass kicked for 2.5 quarters. You guys came out, and all of a sudden, I mean, there was an epiphany or somebody picked up the play calling book because it wasn't Kevin Patullo. Somebody started calling plays. Jalen Hurts and AJ started making plays. I mean, what was your takeaway of the Rams game heading into?
Look at that. Didn't shake the whole time. I said it. They get this offense going, they're going to win the game. That's what I said at halftime. If they get this offense going, they're going to win this game. I knew they could come back. I knew they could come back if they did the right thing. Because to me, what I saw, just like I said to you last week, it looks like to me that they handcuffing Jalen Hurts. And they're just too conservative. And it was like to the point where it was so obvious in that first half. It was ridiculous. But I enjoyed it. You know, the Eagles and the Cowboys game must have really screwed Mark. I mean, his doctor's a lot more gentle, right, Mark? Inch by inch, inch by inch, like a gentleman, right?
You under when they take, when they shove it up your ass.
Inch by inch, inch by inch, like a gentleman.
And it's done.
But I'll tell you what, Mark deserves all of it because Sills, I don't know if you saw the stream, but he was talking so much shit about me and another guy, and he was just talking so much crap, and it was ridiculous, dude. It was ridiculous, and he deserved it. He deserved to get what happened.
Okay.
And here's the other thing. The other thing, is when we left your show last week, what did I say? The Dallas Cowboys are one of the most overrated teams in the National Football League. And clearly they go out and they get destroyed by the Bears. That's the funniest thing. Mark melts down before the Cowboys game even starts. and then they get their ass kicked by fingernail polish boy. I love it. I love it.
All right, let me stay with you here.
Look at his face. That's the face of losers. This is the face of winners.
Love it. Oh my God. Mark. Well, let me hook you up here, Mark. And let me tell you if you buy this, because you were watching that game too. So Kevin Patullo, their training wheels offensive coordinator, decides to do this. Well, let's not do anything in the first half. They had -3 yards passing. They had 34 yards of total offense. And what Philly just said, they came out in the second half. They didn't change their philosophy. They had to change their direction because you know why? They were down. And it showed you that they could throw the ball. But here's this. They're not learning anything from that game. They're going right back to where they were before. Well, Philly, you really think they're going to change when the organization's going to fire at me and you and go 19-1, dude?
I don't know, but I know that when your players come out and say, we got killers on this team, we've got to start acting like it. To me, I feel like the players speaking up tells me volumes about what they want. And I don't see how they can't change the direction, even if it's just tweaked a little bit. Because if the players didn't speak up after the game, then I would say you're probably right. But I think the fact that Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown spoke up, I think it's hard to go back to do it. I really hope, because I think it's a bad idea to go right back into that same play that they have the first 2.5 games.
Mark, I'm on your side with this one here, dude. I think Dak's played top 10 quarterback.
What?
I've got. And everyone else right now, if you look at the numbers,
what are you talking about?
He's playing. I'll tell you what, he's playing better quarterback right now than Hurts.
Game, you lose.
Oh yeah, okay.
You lost offensive lineman, bro.
Hurts one half was better than his whole season. The guy should have 10 interceptions. The guy should have 10 interceptions. What did he do in the Chicago game?
Quarterback.
Come on,
right now.
Come on, dude.
Dak Prescott.
Because I've never seen a guy have more interceptions dropped in the first 3 games of a season than that guy. I mean, 5 picks every game.
He's the second best QB after 12 quarters of football right now.
1 and 2. What's he going to be?
Passing offense is 29th.
Oh, come on, dude.
You're running
that
offense.
Don't even smell. That don't even pass the eye test.
Your
he
run
stinks.
Game, you're 18th. You're 27th in total offense.
I want to know what's going on with
You're making it sound like you're moving the sticks.
No. We're talking about Dak Prescott. He is not a top 10 quarterback. He stinks. He stunk in that Bears game. Stunk. They bench him because you've played 3 games, and that second game was a giant shootout that is fluffing up his numbers. That's why he was overrated after week 2. They're still overrated after week 2, because if you take that giant game out and it's a normal game, he's nobody. He stinks.
Cowboys are 4th in total offense right now with 400 yards. I mean, Mark, you tell me.
Yeah, because of 1 game.
How do you think that Dak has played? No. How do you think Dak's played so far in 12 quarters?
He's not perfect, but he's the only thing that's keeping you at least in games right now. Yeah, our defense is so atrocious. It's not even funny, man.
True.
When you look at, I literally want to toss my Italian sub every time my defense goes on the field, because the reality is the Cowboys have actually been able to run the ball rather well. Javonte Williams, I believe, is 7th right now in the NFL in rushing. He was rushing 7.6 yards a carry. He was looking like Saquon last year. But unfortunately,
he wasn't.
No. Right now, Saquon ain't looking like Saquon.
He wasn't looking like Saquon last year. Come on.
But we can't.
I'm not saying he was playing bad, but don't even put him in
Saquon's
royalty.
Only averaging.
Don't put him up there with royalty
right now, bro.
Saquon Barkley, but last year you said he was Saquon last year.
I said last week.
That's
rushing 7.6 yards a carry on 10 carries.
He's never looked like Saquon.
Said he was running like Saquon was last year.
You said he looked like Saquon last year.
I'll say this to you, Mark. Your defense is 30th right now. Total defense.
I'm surprised it's 30th. You mean it's not 40th? I mean, you can put a couple of some teams there. It's atrocious. And when I look at the film, when I actually looked at some of the plays, it looked like the Cowboys were more worried about Williams running, and they were just making sure that they didn't give him any lanes. They kept him in the pocket, but he had all damn day to throw, and we just couldn't cover it. We may have some good news. Deron Bland looks like he's going to be back this week.
32nd in pass defense.
Yeah, it's just and nobody's going
You're
against
the
the run.
worst
We're
pass
actually pretty good stuff doing
football team right now in the league.
by far. It's not even it's not even close.
I mean, do you think this is the worst Dallas Cowboy defense you've seen in the last 15 years?
2020 was pretty bad. 2020 was the worst. We'll see what the numbers finally look like. 2013 was pretty bad too. But right now, they're on pace to be the worst. Now, here's what I try and tell Cowboy fans, that there may be some light at the end of the tunnel, and that may be over the course of the next few weeks. CeeDee Lamb will be back. You'll get Overshown back sometime, probably by the end of October. You'll end up getting Tyler Booker back. You'll end up getting Cooper Beebe back. Savon Ravel may come off of the IR after this week, although he's a rookie, hasn't played since September, so don't necessarily think that he's going to be a savior. And you got Clowney, who has to be better than some of the guys that are there right now. So given some time, maybe by October, the defense is 28th. I don't know. It should be a little bit better.
All right. Philly, some absolutely horrible news today. Nolan Smith is out 4 weeks. I mean, and now you go into this Buccaneer game, and your offensive line has not played very well, and now you're losing a guy, an edge rusher. And I'll tell you this, you're giving up 140 yards rushing per game right now, and you're 18.
Most of it's outside.
Most of it is. It is. It's not in the inside. Yeah. It's the edge rushers that have been attacked. How big a loss do you think this Nolan Smith?
I think it's huge. I think it's huge because one, we've had 3 sacks all year. The edge rushers haven't been getting home. You're now going to have to rely on Jalen Hunt as a Derrick Smith. You have Azeez Ojulari, who, look, people could say, oh, he's good, he's talented. Well, he's been a healthy scratch. What could they really think of him if he can't even get on the field? I think this is where Howie's going to have to make a move. This is where you got to make the trade. There's been a lot of rumors about them going for another corner. I don't think you can wait. I mean, they're talking about Nolan Smith coming back week 10. So I think you need to make a move for a pass rusher. I really do. I think that's got to be the play.
Well, if they do that, here's the one thing though. Again, just looking at some of the available guys here, and I do think this. They're going to wait until after 4 weeks.
Yeah, okay? You're going to have to wait. Yeah, you're going to have to wait.
They're going to have to wait. All right. So I'm going to put something out there to you, and then you try to explain this to me here, okay? So Gardner Johnson on your football team, the 2 years he was there, you went to a Super Bowl twice. He led the NFL in interceptions 1 year, and he also last year was second. If this guy was such an asshole, how come that asshole was such an instrumental part? And by the way, your boy Reed Blankenship don't look very good next to Andrew Makuba and Sidney Brown. That guy gets turned around, and he's a liability out there at times in that secondary. I'm not paying that guy $15 million watching that guy play the way he's played. Help me understand why that wouldn't be a good go-to, going back to him and bringing him back in. I'm not saying that he comes in and starts, and I'd put massive parameters on him. But doesn't this sound better? CJ and Makuba.
Great.
What's this? CJ and Makuba versus Makuba and Sidney Brown. Doesn't that
however you want to put it, I like it. Anything that brings CJ Gardner Johnson back, I like. You can't deny 2 Super Bowls with the guy, okay? For all the crap or whatever they're saying that was going on in Houston, and he could only last 3 weeks, we know that the Eagles could deal with him for 2 years. They've done it already. Now you're talking about a situation where a guy is getting, his reputation, nobody's going to want to sign him right now to a big contract, right? Nobody's going to want to take a chance. And if you're CJ Gardner Johnson, pretty much wherever you go, you're going to have to start from buried in the depth chart and work your way up, work into a new system. If I was CJ Gardner Johnson, I would be telling my agent, get Howie Roseman on the phone. I'll come back. I'm sorry. Give me a 1-year deal. I'll do whatever you guys ask me. League minimum. Just help rebuild my image so that after this season, I can get a contract somewhere else. Because I think who's going to want to take a chance on him?
No.
And where's he going to go that he's going to play right away? Nowhere. Philly would be the only place because he knows the system. I think it's a good fit. Do I think the Eagles will do it? No, I don't, because I think that there's whoever's in that front office didn't like something about him and they wanted him gone. But would I do it? I would jump on this, man. I would do it right away. I didn't want him to go anyways.
So, Mark, I've got one for you here. So where do I get my commemorative ticket for this game that Micah Parsons is coming back to Dallas and he's going to be celebrated, isn't he? Aren't the Cowboys going to have like a video thing? Oh, wait, they're not. So, I mean, so Parsons said that he was asked a question about hitting Dak, and he was like, it was like the Rocky thing. What's it going to be like in the movie? You know, he said was pain. I mean, how do you feel about your boy coming home and playing against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday?
You know, I mean, what do you want me to say here?
Nothing.
Okay. You know, first of all, you're going to want to cry because you look at what he's about to do to the Cowboys. He used to do for the Cowboys. Now he's doing it for somebody else. You know, that's like you had that beautiful girlfriend that, you know, that just knew how to take care of business and stuff. And then she's gone, and now you see him with her with another guy. You know, she's doing those things to that dude. Okay.
Mark's always talking about chicks, man. What the hell?
Wow, that sounds like something OJ would say. Is that guy drinking out of the OJ cup? Is that guy sitting in my chair? That sounds like something OJ would say.
I'm not going OJ on it. So no, it hurts that happens. But maybe after this game, that maybe some of the talk about Micah Parsons will die down until, you know, the Green Bay Packers get in the playoffs and start doing well or something. In the end, this team is screwed beyond just Micah Parsons. What this is validation of is Micah Parsons was doing this shit on his own with the Cowboys defense. And it goes back to the original problems are the Dallas Cowboys just don't know which players to keep. When you start looking around, you see Malik Collins with a 90 rating. You see, of course, what Micah Parsons is doing. You see a Woozy doing great things. You know, it seems like we have Giants-itis that when a guy leaves the Cowboys, they become really good players. And we hold on to the guys that just don't seem to pan out anymore.
Like Dak.
And Dak is in the bullseye always with him.
Dak didn't pan out.
Well, Dak was a 5th rounder.
Well, you got a big contract.
Yeah.
Go win a Super Bowl.
No, the $60 million, you're dead on. Erases all that bullshit. They are it.
That's right.
Okay, so let me ask you a question here, my friend. How do you think Jalen Carter's playing?
I think he could be playing better. I would say I think he's looked out of shape. I think, and I don't mean that like he
so
did
you're
something
saying he
wrong all
wasn't
season.
prepared for the season?
Yeah, I'm not saying to that level, but
Okay.
I feel like all the missing of training camp, missing no preseason games, missing that first game. I feel like he's still kind of playing back into it. So I hope he'll get better every week. But
I think you're
right
missing,
now, I think he's all right.
I think you're missing one other one.
Shoulder injury, right?
No. Don't you think having better players around him, like Sweat and Milton, also plays a factor that, guess what? I mean, more of those double teams are now going to come to his way. And if he's not in shape, Jordan Davis has probably been the best defensive football player.
I told you.
I'm not sold on it yet.
My breakout player of the year. My breakout player. He was my breakout defensive player.
Well, then tell me this. If he's breaking out, why is that defensive line 24th in run defense?
Well, you know why. You answered it earlier in this.
I did.
In this
I
series.
did. It's the edges. It's the edges.
You can't fool me.
Yeah.
I was a boy yesterday, as my
okay, so do you think you've replaced Milton and Josh?
Milton, I feel all right about, but I don't feel good about the edge rushers. I think the edge rushers seems like that's a big problem right now. It really does, because they're not getting home. You're seeing push up the middle, and you see pressure when they blitz, which they're blitzing a lot more because those edge rushers aren't getting home. The guy, I mean, Nolan Smith's on the IR, but I think he's been one of the most missing pieces so far. I expected a lot more from him. I don't know if he's healthy all year. I really don't.
And Hunt.
But
I was expecting more from Hunt.
yeah, I was expecting more from those guys, and we're not getting it. And I think that's why I think you have to go out and make a move for an edge rusher.
Mark, how do you think Brian Schottenheimer's done?
We're going to find out the next couple of weeks. I mean, I can't. The offense is doing great. I mean, he's got the offense doing pretty well with a very, very young team. Defense, well, that's a whole different story. And, dealing with the Joneses so far, he seems to be handling it okay, although you can start to notice that he is feeling the pressure. He's not looking as jovial as he used to, and he's getting a little more serious. Now, he says we're going to be doing some changes. You're going to see some things different on defense between scheme and players. Now, we'll see if he actually has any control of the team or if this is still Jerry and Stephen Jones and he's just a puppet.
You're 14 points for Chicago. That's a great offense right there.
Hey, you're fourth in total offense right now, but I want to ask you this. So I'll come after every fucking football game. I watch a Cowboy game. I don't see the head football coach sitting up there in press conferences. I see the owner up there. I mean,
well, that's the Cowboys forever since
Jimmy but I mean, so the coach is making decisions on Sundays. I mean, really, that's obnoxious.
We've got Stephen Jones on Monday, Jerry Jones on Tuesday, and Stephen and Jerry both on Fridays on shows. It's Jerry and Stephen Jones show, man. And Jerry Jones is literally, he's we're a playoff team, and as we get closer to playoffs, we'll be playing better on defense, bro. You ain't got the horses right now.
I don't
have the horses.
I don't either. Hey, Philly, let me ask you this about your Eagle management team. Do you think they hold back Jalen Hurts from being an elite pocket passer?
Yes, I do. I really do. I think they do. When Jalen Hurts has to throw the ball, he does it. And, if you want to
why don't they let him?
That's a great mystery to me. That's what I scratch my head about. Why would you? Well, it's the same thing with A.J. Brown. Do you think A.J. Brown's one of the better receivers in the league? Well, why wouldn't you throw to him? It's the same question. I don't know. But when he had to do it, what did he do? He came out and did it. When he had to throw in a Super Bowl, what did he do? He did. They don't give him a chance. I don't know what they're thinking. I really don't know if they're like, hey, let's just be very vanilla for the first few weeks and see what teams are doing against us, and then we'll adjust. I don't know, but you can't tell me that a guy comes out the second half and all of a sudden he starts throwing the ball and it's just because he was lucky or the Rams had to let that. I mean, he has the ability to do it. A.J. Brown, we know what he has the ability to do. We know what Devontae Smith has the ability to do. Why they hold him back, I don't know. I don't like it. And like A.J. Brown said, and I thought he said something really great, we have killers on this team. You got to let them go and be killers. You can't handcuff them. It's not just handcuffing Jalen Hurts. They're handcuffing everybody on that offense. And I think it affects the running game directly, to be quite honest with you.
Let me throw this at you here, Mark. You tell me, a couple more guys here. Here's Dallas's games. Green Bay, Green Bay. You got the Jets. You got Carolina. You got Washington. You got Denver. And we'll go Arizona there. What do you think your record is up to November 3rd? Right now, you're sitting at 1-2 with Green Bay.
Can you repeat the teams? I want to calculate this.
Okay, right. Yeah. Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
New York Jets.
2-3.
Now, wait a minute. Green Bay just lost to the Browns.
Yeah.
Carolina.
Well, we just lost to the Bears.
Okay. Fair enough.
3-500.
Okay. Carolina.
Although they kicked Falcons' teeth in.
You think you're 2-3 there?
I think we're 3-3.
You're 3-3.
I think you got a chance with the Jets, and I think you got a chance with Carolina, right? You lose to Green Bay. That gets you at 500.
Okay, Washington,
divisional game, toss-up.
Okay, let's just split it and say you win that, and then you lose the other one. Okay?
You're at 500.
You're above. You're 4-3, right?
Yeah, I was thinking of the Arizona
Okay.
game. Okay.
So then you got Denver
Mm-hmm.
in Denver,
You're gonna lose that one.
4-4, and you got Arizona at home. It's ABC, so it's Monday night. So
Get
we're
Arizona.
talking potentially you're sitting there in November, the first week in November at 5-4.
Yeah,
then
which
you
would
got-
be a surprise.
That's crazy.
That would be a surprise. But yes, that's possible.
Okay, Philly, what
It
do you
could be
see
4-5, 5-4.
Okay, you tell me here.
Well, okay. I think they're going to lose. They're going to lose Sunday Night Football to Green Bay.
Okay, so that makes them 1-3.
1-3. I think they lose to the Jets. It's in New York, right? It's in the Meadowlands.
It's in New York.
Yeah, that's a loss. That's 1-4. They beat Carolina. They lose to Denver. Who else do they have?
Washington.
They lose to Washington. They lose to Washington. They lose to Denver.
Then they
they lose to Carolina, and they lose Arizona.
You got them a 2-win team the first week in November.
Yeah, well, still, they're how close are they to being 0-3? I mean, it's not shocking.
Well, how close are you to being 0-3?
Not that close.
Really, every team had a chance with their ball in their hands to win the game.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Okay.
I know you took
Here's the
block.
one thing.
It took Dallas 14
miracle block and a drop catch.
That wasn't a miracle. That was well planned. They did that twice.
Oh my God!
Come on. That was skill.
The one thing that will give me hope, okay, and they've got to be able to use this. Now, if I'm the Cowboys, okay, going in against Green Bay, the last thing I want to do is pass and give Micah Parsons opportunities. You got to run the damn football. And right now, I know, of course, how dare me say that Javonte Williams is running like Saquon was. But right now, he's averaging 75.7 yards a game, 5.3 yards a carry, with the second highest success rate at 67.4. You need to run the damn football and try and keep them off the field. And here's the other thing I would actually do is I would take Jaden Blue, okay, who's our rookie running back. At Texas, he played in the slot more than any running back in football in college last year. I would take him and put him in the slot, now that we don't have CD, just to try and use this like an elongated handoff, to try and get this game, chew up some clock, and just kind of hit this ball all over the field and run the hell out of it. That way, you're negating Micah Parsons.
Do you win this game on Sunday?
You know what? The craziest thing is, if you're a betting man, all the money's going to be on Green Bay. If this shit is rigged, the Cowboys win, and Vegas makes a boatload of money.
And it's in doubt.
Anybody can beat you in the NFL. So, is it possible? Of course. Is it likely? Not. Probably.
You know who wins? You know who wins that game? The Eagles win that game. Eagles win that.
Either way.
Can't lose. Can't lose. Green Bay loses 2 games. That helps us. Dallas loses. That helps us. I don't care. I do care. I want Green Bay to whip that ass. But
all right.
I don't think they have a chance.
This weekend for you, you're 1-4 against Todd Bowles. And the Buccaneers, you're going in now. No Nolan Smith. Your run game's a little suspect now. But again, you have great talent. And I'll say this, the Buccaneers are decimated too, dude. No Luke Gedeke. They're getting Tristan Wirfs back. The kid Cody Mack is out. They lost Kalijah Cansey. They're banged up, and they had to come back against the New York Jets. And I don't know what Bucs team I'm looking at, because I'll be candid with you here. The Falcons, then you turn around with the Texans, okay. Then you had the struggle. You lose a big lead against the Jets. You had to fight back. You played 3 teams, and they'll combine to have 1 win. So I don't know what I'm looking at with Tampa, but what's the excuse for the Eagles offense to be struggling like this? They only lost 1 dude. So I'm
like, there is no excuse.
So you tell me, how do you see this game, man?
Well, there's 2 scenarios I see. If your scenario is correct and they revert back to the first half, it could go either way. If they do what I think they're going to do, and they come out throwing the ball, I think they're going to have an offensive explosion on this team. I think for whatever reason, I think they're due. I think they go off early, and I think Saquon Barkley has a breakout game. That's what I think is going to happen. I got the Eagles winning by 7.
7. I think that's a good score on the road in Tampa. You're also accounting for the heat and humidity there too, because
that's another thing. If they do not get off the field on third downs, like if you take the game they had last year, where the first 3 drives were long sustained drives by Tampa that all led to touchdowns, you tire that defense out too quickly in that heat and humidity. So I think they've got to get off the field on third downs. You can't have long drives, especially early in that humidity, that heat. No, we're not used to playing in that. They got to get off the field.
How about this, Mark? Let me tell you what a buffoon Sirianni was in this part right here. So what do you do when you're a hockey guy and you got an injury? You always try to do this. You always try, if you have a leg injury, you're always telling somebody you got a shoulder injury or a hand injury. You're trying to not tell people where you're hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's what the fucking Eagles do in the head coach. Hey, you know what? We're going to go off script and we're going to go out of routine because we're going to get down there because the fucking heat down there to get acclimated. Anybody who's ever been in the heat knows you don't get acclimated to humidity one day overnight. Playing in Tampa, that took me 2 years down at the University of Miami to fucking.
You're just going to dehydrate yourself even more.
You get this, and I never got used to it. I tolerated it. So what they did was they put a focus on it that they're concerned with it, instead of letting you're the world champions, act like it. Nothing's supposed to faze you, and I think that was a weak way of putting an emphasis on something that, again, you're the fucking champs. I mean, Philly,
what is that? What is that? What is that saying again? Paralysis by overanalysis.
Exactly.
I think the Eagles do that. I think they've been doing that with the offense, especially this year. And you saw when they couldn't do that anymore. You saw what happened. So hopefully they'll make the adjustments.
I mean, that's the front office again, thinking they know better than the players do. That's why they're not going to revert back. I mean, Philly, they're going to go back to the way they think because they're 19-1. They think that 19-1 record is them, not the players. You've had. Hey, you want to hear something, Mark? The Eagles have had 9 coordinators in the Nick Sirianni era.
Yeah,
9 on both sides.
They always take our coordinators. Everybody takes them from us,
or they fire them.
They fired 2 of them, right? And the rest have all been taken away from us every time.
Desai's been fired. Johnson's been fired. Patricia was fired. Right?
Oh, Patricia I don't consider him. He was an intern.
And you would say that, let me see, Brian Johnson was fired. Yeah, so 2 guys got elevated. 3 guys got elevated and 2 got fired, right? On offense.
Something like that, yeah.
All right. Guys, should be an interesting weekend. So you got the Packers taking the game, right, Mark, on Sunday?
Yeah, I want to hear Mark's say it. Who's going to win, Mark?
He won't do it. He won't say it right now. Look at
say the word.
You got the Eagles beating the Bucs by 7.
Yep, by 7.
All right, guys, make sure you check
please
out.
Let them lose, please.
We ain't losing.
I need something, man. I keep coming here week after week and getting
how many games are you losing,
Philly?
How many games are you losing this year?
About 3 or 4. I think we'll lose some games we should have won, but I don't think we're like the big games, the Rams, the Bucks, the Packers, the Lions. We're winning those games.
Hey, Mark, I think the Packers aren't real.
They may not be.
Interesting.
I don't. You know why? Why? Because they added Parsons. That game comes down to that quarterback. And I think that quarterback's a freak show. He's great. He's not great. He's great. He's not great. They were 26th in rush defense a year ago. You think that guy helps their run defense? Fuck no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know what else happened? Cleveland exposed that. They ran right at his ass.
I think the Packers were looking at that Sunday night game versus Dallas. I think they overlooked.
Well, that doesn't work. Well, I'll tell you one thing the Eagles don't do. They don't look at anybody ahead.
No, they don't.
They play 60 minutes of football, man. All right, guys.
I think the Lions are a tough team in the NFC. They looked pretty good on Monday night.
I do. I think so too. Guys, I appreciate you guys. I will see you next week. Thank you, man.
All right. Bye, Mark. Bye.
Absolutely, man. Guys are awesome. Make sure you guys check out their channel too. So I think the Eagles don't know how to handle success. Yet that's why you see a lot of these goofy shit. Listen, they're really, I mean, they want to have control of success. And here, get this. I saw stupid ass Senor with another fucking bizarre take that he has. He's terrible at his takes. So let me tell you something. If I got a problem, I'm not fucking telling you what the problem is. If I'm the world champion, I'm not telling you what my problem is. So here's Nick. Well, we want to get down to the South and we want to get down to Tampa because we're concerned about the Heat. You're concerned about the Heat? You're the Philadelphia Eagles. What are you concerned about? You've won 19 of 20 ball games. And you're concerned about the Heat? Why? You've won all those football games. And now you're telling the Bucs, so you know what I'm going to do to you guys? I'm going to up-tempo you. Because your defensive tackle, Jalen Carter, wasn't ready for the season. For some reason, he was out of shape. And he's out of shape still. He's not playing good ball. And you know what? That dumb take that you guys had, that you were telling me that Jalen Carter made Milton Williams and Josh Sweat. Well, that guy's not playing well. Funny, the other guy's playing well. He's not playing great ball. Now, I will say, I don't believe that your run issues are in your D tackle positions. It's clearly on your edges that you said you guys would replace, and you haven't. And now, one of the predictions we made too, Nolan Smith was not a 17-game player. He's not. Gone for 4 weeks. Again, those aren't predictions you want to have. Okay? You don't want to see a player. I don't want Nolan Smith to miss games. I want to evaluate him on a 17-game schedule, but you can't. It's impossible. Seals, don't you think hot routes would help against these blitzes? This OC's not helping Jalen. Dude, they believe that Jalen Hurts is in a box and they're going to keep him there as long as they're 19-1. Okay? He's 19-1. Not Jalen Hurts. They don't look at it like that. They look that they are. They are ego, and they're holding the kid back on being elite passer from the pocket. They are holding him back, in my opinion. Okay? Here's something that not playing our best ball but still winning makes me very confident later in the season. Okay. If you're going to use that philosophy, and it's not bad, Lou, it's not bad. But here's what I'll say about the Bucs. Well, the Bucs are losing and have lost both bookend offensive tackles and their guard. They've lost Mike Evans, excuse me. They've had Chris Godwin out the entire time, and they're 3-0. Okay? I mean, I get why the Bucs are where they are, but they're 3-0. You haven't lost anybody. Why is your offense not playing well? You're 14th in run game. You're 24th in rush offense. You're 27th in total offense. You're 29th in passing. You're 14th in running the football. Why aren't you playing well? I mean, I get the defense. There's new faces on that side. Right? There's new faces. So, Davis is on a mission. Why? Because he's in a contract year? Hey, what I'll say again, Davis is on a mission. He's out there 90% of the snaps. And they're still giving up as a unit 5 yards a game, 5 yards a carry. You're 14th. Oh, again, you're 24th in rush defense. Your defensive ends are hurting your D-line play. Just because he's out there 90% of the snaps, you're not getting stops. That's why teams are in ball games for fourth quarters. You get it? I mean, this is not hard here. Like I said, The Eagles going into this game this weekend, in total offense, Philadelphia's 27th. What's your excuse? You've only guy who've lost is Becton. You're 29th in passing. What's your excuse? In rush offense, you're 14th. You're in the middle of the room. I mean, don't make it sound like you're playing well. You're not. How about this? I'll take that back. You're not playing up to the talent of the football team. Would you not agree? Okay, and here's the other side of the ball. On your defensive side, Bucs are 11th in total. The Philadelphia Eagles in total are 18th in total defense. Kind of where we predicted. Now it's early. It's still 12 quarters. You're 18th right now in total D. Your rush defense is atrocious, man. You're 24th in run defense. You're leaking everywhere. You're banged up. Who's missed games? Lane missed some time. Landon's out. Okay. Cam Jurgens not playing well. Mulata's not missed any time. AJ's there. Devontae's played every game. Hurts is there. What's the problem? Don't you think the Bucs know Eagles can't handle heat? Tampa's radio show airways have heard it took Senorita Sills 2 years to get used to it. Correct. That's why. What's the bullshit going down Friday? Stupid. That's my point, dude. You made my point for me. If you think that you're getting acclimated going down a day before in the humidity, it's fucking dumb. If you're not ready for it now, like Vic said too, in the presser, thanks, Senorita. No question. You're not getting used to it one night. Bro, if you didn't prepare your body for playing in Tampa 6 months ago, you're never going to be ready for it. You could be down there 10 days. You ain't getting used to that. You're damn right. It took me almost 2 years. And then again, once I learned how to play in it, I tolerated it. I never got used to it. Going down, and what you're doing is you're telling the Bucs, hey, man, guess what? We got an issue with the heat. Yeah, okay. Well, you better be ready. You're 1-4 versus them. A commanding record versus Sirianni. Oh, but we didn't have this guy. We didn't have that guy. Welcome to the NFL. It's called football. There's a reason you have practice squads. There's a reason why you have to. The Bucs have to go through it too. They're a train wreck right now. Sills, the players on offense are too mature to be playing this poorly. I think it's coaching. I think it's I'm with Xander. I think it's AJ, and I think it's Jalen. I'm with them. I think it's the play calling because of the arrogance of the organization. They think they're 19-1 and not the players. Organizations don't win championships. Players do. I'm with Michael Jordan on that. They believe organizations win championships. And that's why the ego's in the building. And that's why your quarterback will never be elite from the pocket, because they're holding his ass back. Because John will tell you, this is how they win games. This is how they believe they win games, and they throw 19-1 at you. Quarterback is never going to be elite from the pocket. You'll always hang out around 29th, 28th, 20th. You're never going to be anything other than that. And by the way, it's not that he can't be. They don't want him to be. That's not how their approach is. Nobody's sitting there saying he can't do it. We see him in critical games when they need to throw the ball. He does. I believe that. I do believe that now. But that's not how they want to win ball games. Okay? Very good pocket numbers, like what? 51 sacks? The data supports it? What? The 51 sacks? In the pocket, teams are pressuring him 48% of the time. Yeah, okay, guy. And that's why teams are doing it. Stupid again. I mean, the guy's dumb. The guy will tell you, dude, right now, 29th in passing is not good. Okay? It is not good. It is not. Is the Bucs defense good enough to stop the Eagles defense? Is the Bucs defense, you mean the Bucs offense? Or the Bucs defense good enough to stop the Eagles offense? So who has the advantage on this side of the ball? It's a great question, senor. Is the Bucs defense good enough to stop the Eagle offense? It's okay. I got you, bro. How about this? We add this to the conversation. Senor, is Kevin Patullo a liability to the Eagle offense? Do you think he's a liability? Okay. Do you think he's a liability? Bullshit numbers, just like you give me when it comes to Allen. Bullshit numbers. Because if this was the case right here, folks, the Eagles would be throwing the ball every game and not down at the bottom of the league. You see these numbers? They're bullshit numbers. I will roast you if you go soft on Johnny Mac Sunday. For what? Okay. What's the point of having those numbers, dude, when you don't use them? Patula is the biggest liability on the team. I agree with you. I do. No excuses for Buck injuries. It's football. Okay, then there's no excuses for you being 1-4 versus Tampa, right? Drag, okay. Well, if we're going to go with your metric, then don't give me excuses about guys that were missing when the Bucs have a winning record against you at 1-4. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. As long as you have that mentality too and how you see that. Okay. That's right. I'm with you. They win. They beat them. It's part of it. Dean, Big Sills. It's funny how Jacorian name got called before Ringo on a game-winning drive. Dude's actually terrible. Dude, putting Keely Ringo in, and Vic Fangio told you at the press conference, he says he was going to get his opportunity. Vic was telegraphing it that they were going to put Bennett on the they were going to put him on the IR. If our depth can hold up this Sunday, I'm encouraged. If we're screwed. Bro, if you win this game against the Buccaneers and you've had all these issues going on, play calling, injuries, Nolan Smith out. Hey, by the way, I'm pretty concerned about Lane Johnson being injured. I mean, that's a big injury concern, him going into that game. So let me get this right. If you got to put Fred Johnson out there, you don't have the best O-line in football. Fred Johnson, Tyler Steen, Cam, an injured Landon. That's not the best O-line, guys. Eberflus been calling. Eberflus been a play caller before I can live with Patula growing as a play caller. You have to start somewhere. So, according to Twiz, you put a guy. Okay, Eberflus is on the Dallas Cowboys right now. And he was on what? Where was he before? I'll have to go and look. But at the end of the day here, you want to give the keys to a guy on a Super Bowl championship team. Is that right? Fucking stupid. If we win this game, We will own the tiebreaker over the NFC West and South. Must win. Game like this and a game like last week, there's no doubt. Guys, game like last week and a game like this week, these two games could determine home field advantage. That's how big these games are. Jalen has the keys now? Absolutely not. Dude, John McMullen covers the team and told you they're not going to. You're out of your minds if you think they're going to start throwing the ball. And they should. They're 28th in pass defense. One thing about Fred Sills is that he gets the job. He does. I like him. I really do. I like him a lot. Get this. If he had the keys, he'd be throwing the ball more. According to those M. Reyes stats, if a guy's that good in the pocket, M. Reyes, do me a favor. Can you put those stats back up you had? Do me a favor. M. Reyes, put up those stats you had with Jalen in the pocket. Can you for me? And I'll put them up there. I want to show you guys something. Put those stats up. Jalen in the pocket as a pocket passer. Okay, look. What's the problem then? Then you look at the output. The volume is the worst in the league. The passing numbers are the worst in the league. The volume of attempts is horrible. And this year, they're in the same position. If he's so good, why don't they do this more? What's the answer? If these numbers are so good and he's what M. Reyes is saying, why aren't you number one or number two or number three in passing in the NFL? Why? Why is your offense 24th or 27th ranked? If Hurts is so good, why do they not throw the ball? What's the answer? They don't want to. They don't want him to. That's an organizational decision. Get this. What? Notice how it doesn't show attempts. We aren't spamming the game with passes because the players execute properly. We score. Okay? Well, then why aren't you doing it more? You're the lowest volume offensive output passing team in pro football. If you're so good at it, why don't you do it? And I'm not saying you're wrong, M. Reyes. I'm asking you why, if you're so good at it, why don't you do that? If those numbers are so good, you're the lowest volume team in passing yards and passing attempts, and you're so good at it, why don't you do it? Is there an answer or no? Dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm blaming the O-line, Stoutland Community College. Huh. So Jeff Stoutland is the reason that the offense is struggling. That's a new one. I hadn't heard that in 5 years. Okay? Wow. They're afraid of turnovers. Okay? That's why they don't have high volume. I didn't say I'm not blaming Jeff Stoutland. He's blaming Jeff Stoutland. So injuries is why Barkley is, what is Barkley? Barkley's 12th in rushing He's averaging 3.3 yards a carry, and he's averaging 64 yards a game. You blaming Stoutland for that too? Here, what's Jalen on the in the NFL trending list? Where is he? Let's take a look at Jalen. Hurts is 28th in passing yards. Let's take a look at attempts. Jalen Hurts is 26th in volume attempts. Take a look at completion. I bet you he's high. He's 5th. That's M. Reyes' point. Well, shit. If the guy's so good, why aren't they doing it? Because the O-line's hurt. Shit, Baker Mayfield's got the entire offensive line out. He's not stopping throwing the ball. Right? All right, got to pay some bills here, guys. Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America. They are number one because they win cases. This is what they do, man. They win cases with their thousands of attorneys from coast to coast. They're there for you, man. I mean, they are just absolutely kicking rear end. They are undefeated during this football season right now when it comes to cases that represent people across this country. When insurance companies come in and get fraudulent claims, they're there to defend you and your family. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. Do me a favor. I'm telling you, this is the easiest decision you'll ever make. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Super chats. Go to the top here. Let me see how we're doing here in our likes here. And hopefully we're getting right. We're 8 away from 200. Let's hope we can get to 200. I appreciate you guys very much. Last 6 years, Buccaneers versus the Eagles. I think we make the argument, do we not, that these are the two most successful teams in the NFC over the last 6 years. 2 Super Bowl appearances by the Philadelphia Eagles, right? The Bucs have won 5 straight NFC South championships and a Super Bowl. It's actually probably the best era of football in Buc history. I mean, they had a run in the late 70s, obviously the early 2000s when they had the Sap Bucs team, but that didn't really last that long with John Gruden. This has been probably the best era of football. And they've won 5 straight division titles in an NFC championship and a Super Bowl. And by the way, on the way to the Super Bowl that year, they beat Hurts in the playoffs. I don't know if they won it that year. I think they won it the year previous in 20 during COVID. So, I mean, these are, name me up. Okay, then you tell me. Give me another football team in the NFC that has actually been more of a winner than the Bucs in the last 6 years. Tell me. I think the Eagles are number 1. They are. Been to 2 Super Bowls. That supersedes division titles, even though they've won 5 in a row. Is there another team that has won more? The Rams have not won more in the last 6 years. That's not true. Not true. I said, okay, you think Green Bay? Green Bay's never been to a Super Bowl in the last 6 years. I'm not even sure they've been to an NFC championship game. The Niners? Is there a Super Bowl in there? Niners have won 2 NFC championships. Buccaneers have won 5 division titles and a Super Bowl. You take the 2 division NFC championships? Okay, it's not bad. 49ers not having won a Super Bowl, at least the Bucs won one. Okay, how have the Rams in the last 6 years been more successful? There's more division titles in Tampa than there is in LA in the last 6 years. What have they done more? What have they done more? Again, doesn't want to go. How about this? And they're 1-4 against the Eagles. I mean, they're 4-1 against Philly. 2 NFC championships now supersede the 49ers. They didn't have in the last 6 years 2 NFC titles. Since when? The last 6 years, the Rams have won 2. Let me see here. LA Rams, year to year. The last 6 years, let's take a look at this. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. In the last 6 years, they've won 1, 2 division titles. They've won a Super Bowl. They've lost a wild card in a division. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, yeah. They've lost. They've lost a division. They've lost a wild card, and they've lost another divisional title, and they won a Super Bowl. Once again, it's a bullshit take. Okay, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I said the last 6 years. M. Reyes, once again, another L. If we want to make AJ the number 1 receiver with receiving yards and most catches, it's going to mean to throw the ball, to throw into double coverage. We might go 9-7. That's their mentality, though. Okay, that's their mentality. By the way, I don't give a shit. I'm talking about two teams that are very successful, and the Bucs are 4-1 against you. Just like what's his name said, no excuses about injuries. It's part of it. They're 4-1 against the Eagles in the Nick Sirianni era. The Glazers are quick to get rid of bad coaches. Greg Schiano is back at Rutgers. Well, that wasn't the case because they had Dirk Cutter in there. I mean, and really Jason Light, his first 6 years, they were missing on draft picks. And then, of course, the ultimate miss was that they never really developed Jameis Winston. I mean, they never really put the pieces around Jameis Winston for you to sit there and say that he really got the same talent that you saw with Brady. Because once they got to Brady and Bruce Arians came in, I think Bruce Arians has changed. You want to hear this? This is crazy. I think Bruce Arians is a better coach than John Gruden. I think he's a better coach. John Gruden's 2 games over 500. Bruce Arians has got a 635 or 636 win percentage. He's been the NFL Coach of the Year twice, and he's been a Super Bowl champion. I don't know. Where's John's big success? He sucked with the Raiders the second time. He was 500 with the Buccaneers with the Super Bowl. I'll take Bruce Arians over John Gruden. I mean, Patullo is going nowhere. Let's be real. They aren't firing him mid-season. No, but you might see some more meddling in there. Okay? You might. Unless they go on a huge losing streak, they aren't firing him. Huss, if they go on an offensive ineptness streak, they're going to change that fucking thing out like they did a year ago. And there's going to be a serious come to Jesus. If they lose this game on Sunday to the Bucs, and I'm not thinking they are, but if they do, the Gardner Johnson conversation will be brought up. The direction of the offense, once again, like it was a year ago, will be brought up. Since 2020, well, like I said, that's not the last 5 years. If Patullo doesn't go, again, Maniac, I happen to agree with this. He's not, though, going to go. He's not. They're going to go organizationally, man. Here's why that's not a good fit, Mike McDaniels. Here's why that's not a good fit. He's a finesse coach. That's not a finesse offense. I don't think it's a fit. Sills, something is fishy. How about the Eagles start reporting stuff? All this didn't happen in one day. Dean, who's been telling you this since day one? Don't believe those people and what they tell you. They're never going to. They don't even tell the local reporters. Nobody locally, and no disrespect to John, nobody knew that Nolan Smith was hurt. Nobody. It wasn't reported after the game. How many people were in that locker room? At Lincoln Financial, nobody noticed anything? Don't you find that weird? No local or nobody on any of the news sources, any of the radio stations, didn't notice that Nolan Smith had to have an MRI. He had to have, you don't just do this. Well, he's got a, he's got a, what is it? It's not a tear. He's got like his tricep is it's not torn. The only way you find out that it's not torn is an MRI. The Buccaneers made it known that Mike Evans was going in for an MRI on Tuesday. Players go in on Tuesdays if they have issues on MRI. Nolan Smith went in on Tuesday. You had the entire day. They got the results back that morning. That's why when Vic got to the press conference, he knew Bennett was going on the IR along with Nolan Smith. That's why he said Keely Ringo is going to get opportunities. I should have read it there. How is Keely Ringo getting opportunities? He's not even getting reps now. All of a sudden, they're going to parachute him in? And here, so you go from playing, getting an MRI, you're out 4 weeks. Okay, 4 weeks. Nobody noticed it? It wasn't like, hey, if he's out of game, they're not going to put him on injury reserve. All eyes are going to be on Petula this week. I expect him to adjust. Within, you're going to be very disappointed. They're not going to adjust anything. They're 19-1. You guys think they're going to have some epiphany, and they're just going to turn into like what you want them to turn into. Do you see those stats that M. Reyes posted? Those stats that he said from the pocket that M. Reyes put in there, that's irrelevant to them. I can't believe you're not following along with that. If he's so good from the pocket, they don't practice that. They only pull that out when they need it. They're 19-1, man. They don't want that quarterback turning the football over no matter what. By the way, the shittier the football, the better for them. Because that means they're not doing anything crazy. You know what? Let me tell you this. You guys keep posting at 19-1. They see that. And they know that. And they know you're okay with it. They'd rather have a shitty offense of output, be 19-1, protect the football, win games with their great talent. That's their formula. But Drew Brees is right in many ways. It's the ugliest offense in football. They're 19-1. The Eagles love 19. They love 19-1. Changes are coming. Why? They've never changed. Except last year, they went to what they do. They run the ball. They're not going to throw the ball. Never happened. No way. If Lane's out too, so get this. That dude thinks I'm awake, whatever. He thinks they're going to throw the ball with an injured Lane Johnson and an injured Landon Dickerson. And you're 14th when it comes to pass protection. They're all of a sudden going to turn around and go like this. Okay, sure, I guess. Drew Brees better worry about them 0-3 Saints. I don't think Drew Brees is worried about shit, my friend. Except where he's going to wear his Hall of Fame jacket too. Seals, after 3 weeks, which teams are your biggest pretenders? And who is better than their record? I don't really think the Bills are a football team. I think at the end of the day, I'll tell you flat out. Okay, I don't think they're a 3-0 team. I think Josh Allen's just spectacular. I think the Patriots are better than what that 1-2 record is. The Bengals, Jake Browning, the Steelers, I'm not thinking that team's that hot. I think they're a 500 football team. I hate to do this, but I think the Ravens are better. I don't believe the Colts are a great team. I believe the Jags are okay. I think the Texans are better than that 0-3 record. I think that Charger team is spectacular. I think the Chargers are a spectacular football team. The Eagles get the benefit of the doubt because they're 19-1, and I'm going there with that. I think the Commanders are good. Get this, they lose their quarterback and they still win. I thought that roster sucked without him. I mean, you had Marcus Mariota win a game. Do you know how fucking big that is for the Commanders to win that game? I mean, they win the game without their starter in. And I hear he's back at practice this week. Green Bay at 2-1. I don't know. Minnesota's got a good roster, but their quarterbacks, I mean, Wentz, okay, sure. Detroit looks like a team at 2-1. The Bucs, I'll find out this week. I really can't tell you what they are. I don't believe that they've played anybody of circumstance that's going to be a contender at all, and I don't think they've played against a good football team. Now, they are massively banged up, and they're doing what the Eagles are doing. They're finding a way to win. So the Bucs, 49ers, I don't buy that 3-0 record. I think Arizona's better than you think. And I think Seattle's good. I'll tell you what, right now, the best division in football, boy, it looks like the NFC West. With Seattle, the Rams, the Cardinals, and the 49ers. They lose Bosa, though. And that North division is also very good. Packers, Vikings, Lions. And we'll see what the Bears do. Seals, who does Quinyon Mitchell shadow this week? Mbuka or Godwin? Got to be Mbuka. Mbuka's the healthier. Godwin's not going to get a shitload of snaps. Okay, he's just not. Maybe he plays 20 plays this week. You know, he's coming off IR. He's been out of camp the entire time. I don't think he had any training camp. He had no OTAs or minicamp. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. So to sit there and think that he's going to go into a game and he's going to all of a sudden play 50 plays or 50 snaps, that's not going to happen. Okay? I'm not going light on Jalen Carter. He looks like shit. You paying him $40 million? What do you think, guys? Paying him $38 million? You giving that guy 40? You giving him 40? We'll see. Jalen is deliberate at what he says. He told Lori he got him. You barely hear number one to speak up, so I believe a change is coming. Never happened. Bro, all those stats that M. Reyes posted meant nothing to them. They're going to run the football. If Jalen Hurts throws the ball 35 times against the Bucs, you're in trouble. That's not what they do. Why in the world would you come out of that? It's your run game that's suffering. It's not Hurts. Seals, you get this. Seals, you obviously watch zero film because Carter has been lights out good. Jalen Carter has not been good. His grade last game against the Rams against the run was not very good. Bro, you're giving up 5 yards of play. The coordinator says he's out of shape and he's getting better. What are you talking about? The guy next to him's been better. Holy shit. Lights out? You obviously don't know what lights out is. You know what? Hey, Dime, everybody said that, Milton Williams is playing all pro football, right? Milton Williams is probably going to make the Pro Bowl team if he continues the way he's playing. Josh Sweat's playing great football with the Cardinals. I saw him last week, and I saw the other. Milton Williams is playing superior football. He is really coming into his own. You let a Pro Bowl defensive tackle or a defensive end walk, and you let the NFC Player of the Week walk out the building because you didn't want to pay him, and Isaiah Rodgers. Did you not? Absolutely not. Nowhere near it. No. I'm telling you right now, for 8 quarters, he hasn't played great. That's not an indictment. It's a reality. Carter's the all-pro, not Davis. Well, he's not playing like it. Davis is playing like the all-pro. Okay? All right. You want me to take a break here, Joe? Right? Is that right? You want me to take a break here? I need to pay one more bill here. Okay. Folks, do me a favor. Our good friends at Morgan & Morgan. Our friends here, man, I got to tell you, we're so proud to have them part of our show. It is wonderful to have them part of our program. They're the number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason. It's because they win. No matter if you've been injured, insurance companies always come in with low ball figures to try to undercut you and your family when it comes to settlements. That is not what Ultima and John Morgan have done. They make sure they take care of you and your family. Do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Guys have been great today. Listen, something that just came down the line here that Lane Johnson said that stinger he got, that injury he got was on the first tush push. It's the first notable injury on the tush push that people will start to circle and say that that's going to be one of the reasons. Also, they can't legislate it, they can't officiate it, and now a significant injury with a player at the status of Lane Johnson. So Lane said that, he got hurt on the first initial one that was in the Rams game. That's per Jeff McClain from the Inquirer. So, that's notable, folks. So keep an eye on that. All right. Great stuff as always. Big Joe, thank you. Xander, we thank you. 2 to 6 tomorrow as we get closer to that big game on Sunday. It's a 1:00 game there at Raymond James. Ought to be awesome. Thank you guys again, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the #1 digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home.